All right, they should see us and hear us. Let's do some audio check.
CD's nuts.
All right, check audio. Talking
Check.
audio. Audio
All right, let
talks.
me set. There we go. There's the audio on. I am making noise, so I can. Yeah, it sound fine.
You can sound better, but we'll get there one day.
Eventually, income tax. I gotta do those.
Don't they charge you at this point now, though? Don't you have to pay more now?
Yeah, it's only free for the first month, but I had to wait for some of the paperwork for my house. The joys of home ownership. Plus, I had to refine the paperwork for the tax credit for having an electric vehicle. Let's go out and refine that paperwork.
All right, there's no more echo there. All right, I am ready to just go. Let's do this.
Hell yeah!
Welcome to the Blue Reach Podcast, episode number 241. I'm Adrian. Got David here, of course, as usual.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! Got a good chunk of stuff to talk about this episode.
Do we? What happened?
Just a couple things happened, but
All right, we'll get to that later then.
Yeah.
For now, though,
now,
how you been?
This is our video game podcast. Let's talk about that in a second too. We go live every Tuesday on youtube.com/@depunked, where we talk about video games, do some news, a lot of derailing, which is cool with us. Talk about random stuff that we'll talk about. It doesn't have to be video game related. Whatever gets us talking, we do that. We've done that for
whatever floats the goat.
Exactly. We've done it for 240 episodes already. Crazy.
We have done this longer than some people have been alive officially.
Wait, yeah. After this episode, we've definitely done this longer than some people have been alive. We've done this longer than some people have been consciously now alive. So now they are. How many years have we been doing this? We say 5 years, 4 years.
Yeah, we're like on 4 years.
Is that what it was? 2000.
It was like before pandemic. So
20. We look this up so fucking often. I know we do, and we have to always look it up again. Hold on. I'm pretty sure it's 2019.
Yeah,
we started, but let me double check. Let's see. YouTube Studio. Kelsey.
I know it has to be at least around 4 years, because Lee and I have been together shy of 4 years, and I was still vaping heavily when we started the podcast, and I quit a month into.
I think you were actually
dating.
you were smoking, weren't you?
No, I've never smoked in, well, not never, but I haven't smoked in like fucking, oh god, how long? I think the last time I had like cigarette proper was maybe like as a one-off like 5-6 years ago. But I pretty much was dedicated to vape.
No, it'll be 5 years. Let's see.
Holy hell.
On YouTube is taking its sweet old time. Next month is our 5-year anniversary.
God damn, 5 years.
Yeah, so
holy hell.
So we've been doing this as long as some people are now. They're in kindergarten now.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. And we look at that every single time. I think we just our brain just choose to forget that. We don't want to think about that. Anyway, yeah. So we should do something for the 5-year anniversary. Actually, that's on March 30th.
Yeah, we should plan something for that.
Yeah, maybe we'll stream or something.
Maybe we'll do like a stream or something.
I said it first. Fuck off.
Fuck you.
I
wasn't listening to what you were saying, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, whatever. That's on Saturday.
It's on Saturday.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
So maybe we'll do something. Play your cards right. There you go. That's for the OGs. Anyway.
You know what? Maybe we'll have a guest even.
We
will drug and bring on someone.
Not this cat. Juice, stop trying to claw everywhere. We do this video game podcast, doing it for 5 years now. So there you go. We also do this book club podcast, Games Gone By, and on there we play a game every month and we talk about it. But that podcast is kind of on a posting hiatus ish. We're no longer live recording it, but we will catch up on on audio and video postings soon, and then we'll I mean we're still on track for everything, so we're doing episodes on Black Mesa, 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, Cook Serve Delicious, Enter the Gungeon, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and Yakuza. Excuse me, Yakuza 0. We said it from the beginning, banger time.
Yeah.
And you know what I've been super excited for? So I was watching I was look up Yoko Taro stuff because as we're gonna talk about, I'm still playing near shit. Yoko Taro like heavily signs off on 13 Sentinels, so I'm like, all right,
Hell yeah, all right.
hell yeah. Blue Rupees, but just the cats on camera for an hour and a half. If I can get a juice cam, I would totally do that. I might eventually. Once I settle into like a house, I might just set up another camera somewhere, and that'll be the cat cam. If a cat ever sits there, camera's on. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like Juice just sits there all day. What up? Good cat. But yeah, you asked me first. I'm all right. I'm tired. Gotta do an electives fair, so I gotta sell the kids on your elective at school. I thought I was going both days, but I guess I just go tomorrow. And you know how I am with selling people, so I'm trying to sell this as best as I can. So I'm trying to figure out my presentation to heavily sell these kids into to con them into taking my class. So I'm gonna brainstorm that after the podcast, see how that goes. David, how you been?
Hell yeah, doing pretty good. Actually had hot pot at work today with some of the work friends there, so that was kind of a fun dinner.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice. How'd that roof situation ever come out?
How the what situation?
The roof.
I mean, I got a new roof.
Nice. How long did that take?
I think it was about a week for them to make it.
So the other day, I don't know if I told the story last week or not. We were I was at Gamers, and then that's when I got Need for Speed last week. And then I said, you know what, I'm gonna wander over next door, just for no reason other than just want to say hi to John. And went over there, and there was a Smash tournament going on. I'm like, oh, cool. I saw my friends do it. And they look like a fucking ghost walked in for a second. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? I'm like, yeah, I've arisen from the dead because I'm just so busy. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to hang out. So I hung out for like half an hour and caught up with everyone. But then talking to one of my buddies, and we were talking. He's like, yeah, man, so what's going on? Oh, I got this job. I'm like, oh, good. So he's like, dude, and I'm getting solar panels installed to the house. I'm like, oh, let's go. And he's like, yeah, soon gonna get some money rolling in from because they pay you eventually. With the
you get credits and whatnot.
Yeah. And then we paused for a second. He's like, fuck, 10 years ago, you'd think we'd be talking about this. We're fucking old. I'm like, yeah, we are, dude. Solar panels, hell yeah, dude.
I want that with my next house. I thought about it for this one, but the roof is actually part of the timeline for leaving this house. So the roof comes with a lifetime warranty. But there's an asterisk to it in that it's only transferable to a new owner within the first 10 years of the roof being built. So that's our timeline to get the next house.
I assume that was already the goal, though, was 10 years.
That was part of it, but this is basically cementing that, no, we gotta fucking go, because nothing says amazing resale value, like here's a lifetime warranty on the roof. But also because of that, I'm not putting more money than I need to in this house, in the sense of I'm not going to put solar panels into this house just to not be able to reap any of the benefits from it.
Right. The house situation is always an interesting one. Not to divulge more, but plans might have got a little shifty for the way I'm going to do things. And It's always an interesting conversation. It's always a weird one when you have like you're talking a house, right? Because it's so permanent in terms of plans, right? It's not really like it's not as flexible as it was once way back when, before us, where you talk about starter homes into other homes. It's like, no, we just need a home. Like we need the home.
Yeah, I lucked out amazingly with getting the house when I did. Did was truly like once in a lifetime for that level of luck. So the other part, and that's part of the other reason of like, definitely don't want to put too much more into this house, because the more I can speed run paying this house off, the more that's profit when I sell this for the next one.
That's fair. But yeah, anyway, let's see. David, what'd you get this week?
Hell yeah. I got a few things. This finally came in a fucking year later. The delay on this was so long that they made a design change to it, which I actually kind of appreciate. And it's, instead of being powered by USB micro, they made it a USB-C adapter. And it is the Hunter wireless Xbox controller for the original Xbox. And I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and use it yet, but just initial feel from just kind of holding it, it's basically the size of the Switch Pro controller. It doesn't feel too bad. There's a lot of textured grip in the back, holds onto the hand really nicely. One of the early reviews I was seeing from people that finally got their hands on these is a lot of people were saying that there is one issue where diagonal inputs on the sticks register at half the speed, but the company's acknowledged it. They already have a firmware fix in the works. But aside from that, that's the only issue I've been seeing online from other people. But hopefully this weekend I'll have some time to like sit down and actually start tinkering and testing with it.
Nice.
Aside from that, other things that hopefully maybe I can try to find. February is a busy fucking month. My sister's getting married next week, and we got a lot of other family shit going on. So we'll see how much I can actually do this fucking month. But we got some Tekken.
Nice.
We got some Tekken, boyos.
We still trying to stream this weekend or no?
Probably not, gonna be honest. See prior statement. This is a fucked month for me right now. And then lastly, I got, not lastly, one other thing here. Got finally my Castlevania Advance Collection in the mail. I got the Xbox version just because, honestly, I thought about it. I'm like, that's probably going to be the harder one to find down the road. So I decided to grab that one.
Probably.
Lastly, I got a lot of games. One of them is I already have of this lot. Two I plan on selling, but the other two were the ones that I got the lot for. And I only got it for $4, which is wild to me. But the two games I'll be selling of this, Prison Break, the game, and Grand Theft Auto 4, the Liberty City Collection. And this is a duplicate, so I'll probably end up selling this one as well, but another completed box copy of 99 Nights. But the two reasons that this lot stood out to me, one is a completed box copy for the PC of the Orange Box.
Interesting.
Beautiful. You'll love to see it.
Physical PC.
Hell yeah. And then the other thing that caught my attention for this slot and made me go, yeah, I really hope I win this. And again, I'm glad I got this for only $4. Fucking wild. And it is the official development software for the Net Yaroze, which is the PlayStation development kit. So that's kind of fucking cool. I look forward to, because I've been wanting a Net Yaroze for my collection for a while now. I still see them fairly at okay prices at around $300-400-ish. Eventually I do really want to add one, but when I do, I will have the software to go ahead and make PlayStation games if I'm so inclined. But yeah, that is everything I got.
Okay. I got this because I thought it was funny. It was like $9 from Morris for posted it. I got the Fall Guys plush with the fucking with the dragon. The dinosaur. That was funny. Why not? Got this thing I ordered as soon as I was actually ordered it literally after I was checking out at the Near line the other week. Got this in there, so I got the Near Orchestra arrangement, the special box edition.
All right.
Bunch of CDs. Am I gonna listen to this? 90% positive I won't, but it looks cool as hell to have. That's it. I get paid this week though, so Tekken will be a thing next week. So hell yeah. Dave, what'd you play?
Hell yeah. More Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. I finished the first half of the game, which is Sora's story. All I have left to do now is Riku's story for Chain of Memories. And then I am done that game, which Riku's story goes pretty quick, honestly. But yeah, that's all I've really had time to play.
All right. I've been juggling a lot, so play a little more Automata. And I've been trying to get all the missions, so I'm still on Route B, but just knocking out side missions here and there. Mentioned already last week that I 100% Replicant. I went through, and I'm gonna talk about something else in a second, but I went through and I started Persona 3. I'm about 10 hours into Persona 3. Great time so far. Loving it. It is Persona 5 Royal. That exact game. It's cool once you like gone a couple rounds in Persona. Like once you've gone through Persona 5 and then Persona 5 Royal, you get into the groove of Persona. I feel like, at least with this new one. And so I know how to maximize my time, right? So it's like, all right, I know if I'm on Tartarus for too long, or I gotta like maximize my time as full as I can in like Mementos, right? So Tartarus, same thing. I'm like, all right, I am going till I am on the brink edge of like 0 SP, and I am like one more big battle and I'm dead. So I'm like push. All right, I'm at a spot right now where it's like, all right, you can't go any further. Perfect. Now you sweep up and do a bunch of the social stuff. Cool. Whenever the next part opens up, do the same thing. Push yourself until you absolutely maxed it out as much as you can. Move on to the next, because you waste time just having to re-go to this place over and over again. So,
Did they get rid of the exhaustion mechanic?
I believe so, because I don't recognize that mechanic.
Okay. That was one of the things. Part of the reason I hated original Persona 3 and I never physically finished it myself is they had a lot of like mechanics. The first one was that your character would actually reach states of exhaustion if you were in Tartarus for too long.
Oh yeah, no.
Where they would basically underperform and have a chance to fail things the next week or so, if I remember correctly.
Nope.
And
Gone.
it would make it so that way you had to spend time just like sleeping.
Yep, that is gone.
And the other thing was they made it so that way social links decayed. So if you're progressing through a social link, if you don't constantly still go back and redo events with the characters, you can actually lose progress and go backwards in your social links.
Well, I hate that mechanic, but like it's socially real, which is fair.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like I fucking hate it. Back in the day.
No. That mechanic would be ass, but also like I get it in real life. That's true.
Fair. Well, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, we have talked about this before. We're the type of
In
people
high
that will
school.
just disappear for months. Yeah, fair. High school.
High school, you don't talk to someone for a week, they're dead to you.
Fair enough.
Anyway,
But yeah,
so they got rid of those. At least I don't
Alright.
think the decayed thing is. I've not noticed it. No one say anything. So, having a great time so far. Had to put it down for something else though, just because I was juggling really well, and then I'm like, you know what, I gotta finish this because I'm like in that mode, and I'm telling you now, David, you have to also start knocking out Near Reincarnation. It's not just a do it. Like, how long do you think it was gonna take you? Like,
from what I was looking at, it seems like it takes about like 10 hours to get through it.
it's a game. Like it's like a long game. And there's like multiple endings, and you think it's over and it's not. So like, and also like, yeah, they give you a lot of stuff, but like you still have to do a bunch of things. You still got extra stuff you can do in between. So I recommend, if you are not doing it at all, at least start chipping away at it. Like chip away a chapter here, chip away a chapter like every couple of days, knock away a chapter or something. But just start doing that. It's like I'm almost done. I'm like maybe 2 chapters away from being caught up, and they've been like all day endeavors, even if I'm auto playing. So do that. Anyway, in terms of Neo Reincarnation, loving everything so far about it with the story. Um, it is literally unfortunate that it's tied to a mobile game, which there's a news story about that actually. Um, but they're it's literally like auto playing. I've upgraded the I keep finding ways. There's so many different. The game is so gotcha. Like you can tell. Like it's like you can upgrade all these different fucking aspects of the character. Upgrade this all the way. Upgrade that all the way. Upgrade this all the way. Okay, now you can get the skin and upgrade that. Like it's wild how many upgrade options there are for everything that you need to do eventually. Like when you play the game, you have to explore those mechanics to upgrade. Just because like you will not like there are times in the game where I have to stop babysitting the game and I have to actually like actively play it too sometimes. But there's an auto mechanic. You can hit the thing. You played a little bit, right, or no?
No, I haven't played it at all.
So you can auto run. So essentially, the character's like running for you. Which if you do that, you will miss out on like a couple of small things, which you can't even do out the gate because you have to level up your character enough to even do those. But there's that. In the game, you can auto set it so like if you're overpowered, which you will be at the beginning, you can just auto. Just do that, so it'll do all on its own. But yeah, the story so far, it's funny because like I'm trying to do that thing with what I did with Replicant, where I did with what I'm doing with this now. It's like you wonder where things are gonna change, right? Something the Yoko Taro effect's coming in somewhere, but where? And I gotta imagine just if I was playing this game when it came out, it to people I imagine it's like, oh, this seems like it's just a game. Like it's just like, oh, it's just a regular it's something, it's in the Near universe, but they're all like side stories. That's the way I would have thought of it. Like it's all side stories. But like obviously it's not. Obviously at this point now there's something major that happens and I keep seeing like glimpses of it. I haven't caught the full spoiler yet. But I see people freaking out like holy shit. And I'm like right there on the cusp of it. But I am waiting for the other foot to drop right now, which is fun, which I'm always ready for. And you'll see little references here and there, like oh look there's a lunar tier, oh look there's that. But it's been fun so far. Like, I'm enjoying the story a lot. But just giving you that heads up, that fair warning right now. If you are not ready to sit on your phone for like 3 days straight to do that, which you are not the type of person to ever do that.
No, I plan on playing it on my computer.
Well, if you don't plan, like, well, buy emulation, right?
Yeah.
Either way, play as far as you can. Is it live updated on the computer as well?
Yeah, you can pull up the latest versions.
Okay, chip away at it. I would suggest. I think it's better that way too, rather than bombarding it. But I'm just doing it because
I would rather wait until it's basically all there and just go through in one go.
That's fair. I don't like the time limit on it, especially because it does lock you away from certain things. There are side stories now that you can sidetrack, and those are going to take forever to get through for every single character. I just don't know if I didn't even thinking of mobile games. I didn't know if I could properly manage how much time it would have taken, and I like to at least know. It's like I'm a how long to beat kind of guy. Even if it's not accurate, I would like to like have an idea of where it lands. And I know a mobile game was totally off. 10 hours is not true, at least on my end. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. What else? Firewatch was beat by my students today. And I'll give it to it. I retract a lot of how I felt about that game. I think the game is actually really special and really well done. I always knew it was well written, just did not like the story of that game. But I rescind my judgment as I mentioned before, and I think it's pretty solid. I think I'm curious. I don't know how you would feel about it. I still stand on that. I would have to make sure I set your expectations of story. I have to set you, or well, I guess either set your expectations of what the game is intending to do, I guess. Like
Okay.
it's not a choice based game, if that makes sense. Um, like I had a student ask, like, "Oh, are there other endings to this game?" Which makes you realize, oh, there are games that just have a billion endings now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, no, there's one set ending. It's it's like a Telltale game, but not as egregious and like trying to make you think that. Does that make sense? You know, like how
Okay.
Telltale games, like you have that feeling of like you really are affecting everything about this, but you're not.
Yes, and that's part of my issue with them is because they don't live up to that feel.
Whereas I'd say it's kind of a little okay. It's in the middle of The Walking Dead and Kentucky Route Zero, where Kentucky Route Zero gave you those choices, but they were ultimately for you to kind of piece together everything. This game gives you some narrative decisions or narrative liberties to do stuff, um, and it will affect dialogue, and that's about it.
You're still not selling me, especially with that comparison.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm telling you that ahead of time because I don't I would want you to not think oh if I'm and it's not nothing big. It's just like the way you answer something. Like for example, let me see. Um, someone says, "Hey," someone's pissed like, "Hey, fuck it, burn it down," and you say, "Yeah, fuck it," or you say, "I don't know," or like yeah, no, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have different tone inflections. The tone inflections will continue forward, but it doesn't have a grander scheme on the plot, and I don't think it ever does. It doesn't like make it sound like it's gonna have it. It's just a matter of this direction your character is gonna start sounding now,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. Um, whereas Kentucky Route Zero was you made that choice. Now that it's sort of just a choice that you've made, and now you are coloring it in as you build these characters. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the game is letting you, the game is still holding you to like, all right, you crafted your tone. Here's your tone. Versus The Walking Dead saying, all right, this is gonna decide the fate of everything, or Kentucky Route Zero saying, okay, cool, you made your choice, nice job. Um, I imagine we will play for games gone by because I'm curious to see what you think. Because on that same boat, I still wouldn't have believed you'd ever like Edith Finch. Just how vehemently against you are with that genre. Even though I'm glad you liked it, obviously.
Yeah.
If we like rewound time,
And
I
put money on it.
wouldn't have bet you like that game, and you would have been like, oh, that story was really good, but I didn't never would expect you to
Have
be
the
into it,
visceral reactions
right?
that I did.
Um, but yeah, so that's all it is. I think you'd enjoy it. I'm not sure how on what level though. That's what I'm saying. I think you would appreciate because you're not naturey, but you kind of are too.
Yeah, that's fair. I can appreciate the aesthetic of nature.
Right, which I'm wondering if how that does for you because like did you enjoy like the being out in the middle of nowhere kind of Edith Finch thing where it's like solitude and emptiness for you to kind of create that?
Not in terms of like how to phrase it. Like I liked it from just like oh, this is neat, and then I move on kind of perspective.
Okay, because I go.
I don't typically get lost in the world, so to speak.
Okay, because now Edith Finch wasn't when you get lost in the world. You get lost in the house, but not like in the setting around, which is like a forest. Remember when you walk in, it is a forest.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is I'm like that with any game. It's very rare for me to get like lost in the world of it all and just look at shit for the sake of looking at shit.
Right, and I think Firewatch really makes you accept the solitude and forest as an essential thing. It's interesting. Like I need to sizzle on it a little bit more and rediscover that game, which is fun. Um, but yeah, it very much forces you to accept that you being out there in the middle of nowhere with no connection to anyone besides Delilah, who's the other Firewatch park ranger you talk to, being your only form of human connection out there. I think that plays a heavy part in it. And I think when you're embracing that and kind of walking around this sort of thing, it says more. But there's a whole way to dive into that game. But yeah. Anyway, all right, David. News happened this week.
News happened.
So I do want to touch on that thing really quick. I mentioned with news story with Nier. It was discovered that Tencent had canceled another mobile Nier game that was in development for 2 years. I don't know if you heard about that.
No.
It just came out this last month or like last week. I guess they were kind of trying to like keep it under wraps, but yeah, they worked on it for 2 years and they just scrapped it. I think it's. I think Tencent was just not finding luck in any of these Square Enix mobile games, and also that Nier Reincarnation isn't really a big money sink. You know, it's doesn't feel like one of those games that you can just keep continually sucking like sinking money into. It's like it's got limits to where you're at. Even though you can use these characters over and over again and get them tougher and make these missions, it still has a arc of a story. And I think the Nier subreddit kind of said it well, which is like, you know, this is, I never thought I'd say it, but I'm glad a Nier game got canceled, which is fair, because I would hate for that franchise to start diverting into a mobile thing. Reincarnation,
Agreed.
Fine. It's a one-time mobile game. Let it live its life, and that's cool. Don't ever want another Nier game like that, though.
Yeah.
So, just thought I'd touch base on that real quick. All right, David, we both took a couple of L's this week.
Both inhaled ketamine.
I told you about this fucking Persona thing. I told you they're gonna treat this thing like fucking like Persona 5. They're gonna write this.
Okay, but we debated that before. Where I also said but I could also see it just being a re-release version.
We argued pretty hard on that, and I was like, I'm telling you, this is exactly what's gonna happen. They're gonna do this. They're gonna put out another special like that, and you're like, no way. I know Atlas. Fuck them. I'd fuck them. That's all you said. But
no, I know Alice. They do re-releases constantly. I expected that.
what were you? Okay, no, you were saying that it was like Persona 3 was it. We move on. You didn't think it was gonna be spent that much time on. I'm telling you, this is the Persona stopgap till 6.
I think the thing I was saying is that I doubted that it'd be a DLC. Because if they were going to do it at all, they would save it for a physical re-release version, because that's what Atlas does. They're the Capcom of the RPG world.
I don't even think you thought that. I thought that I think you just thought they were just done with it. Oh yeah, you said you said it would be a DLC. You said at most it'd be a DLC or something. Because I remember you said like you had no hopes that Atlas was going to continue this, because I told you specifically, I was like, Atlas is hyping this up.
Okay, I know where we're getting stuck on. It's because my brain is combining the fact that I was also thinking about female main character. But I held out the thought that, yeah, obviously the answer had to have happened at some point.
Right.
But I doubted, and I still doubt that they'll do anything with female main character, as sad as that is.
Yeah, I think it's out. But I can see if they release a whole other copy of it. And then the female main character back in. But I'm telling you, like, I knew the second I read Alice talk about this, like, this is like, we're treating this like Persona 5. I was like, okay, cool. This is their stopgap, because they know Persona 6 is way the fuck out there.
Yeah.
Way the fuck out there. So they're not gonna do anything Persona. So they're gonna ride the Persona 3 wave. They're gonna let everyone do this thing, get some DLC out there. Okay, now they're gonna release Persona 5 3, whatever they want to call it. Then they're gonna ride that wave out there. And maybe I don't think.
Well,
I don't know.
There's an asterisk there, because there's been another leak that happened today that I saw.
That there was DLC, right? That they said they
No, like about other Persona games.
Okay, go for it. Where is it?
The leak that I saw implied that they also are sitting on not necessarily like completed versions, but they've kind of been like slowly chiseling away at also doing the same kind of remaster for Persona 4, and even basically doing potentially Persona 2, depending on how things went with Persona 3.
I'm hoping it goes well. So David, we're like that's yours right there.
Yes, the original Persona trilogy is phenomenal.
Which
it's sad that potentially that means they're still skipping over Persona 1, but I'll
They
take the
might
Persona
not.
2 duology.
They might not. We're inching there. Like at that point, why the fuck not? Right? Like what the fuck ever. Yeah, as I think Cal's talked to us, and there could be 2 more stop gaps after 3 Reloaded. That's what you're hinting at.
Also, real quick, because apparently this is going on right now, when we are getting ready to wrap up the podcast, I guess EVO announcements are happening right now. So we will check back in towards the end of the podcast to
Sick.
recap all that.
Yeah, I'm so bummed you can't make that, dude. I'm so excited.
Well, on the bright side, I mean, maybe not
Mr.
on
Bright
the bright side, because of the fact that it still means I won't be able to go next year either, but make sure you don't have anything planned for 9/3 next year, because you're going to be here.
That sounded very ominous, like a terrible joke that the FBI would want to watch out for.
No, just the public presentation is happening next year.
All right,
So
all right.
plan on being here 9/3 at the very least.
Of next year,
Yeah, of next year.
2025. Did Persona 3 ever have that online that character you can go on your computer and play online games with? I'm being vague about that for a reason right now.
Character that you can go online to play games with. Oh, yes. I think I vaguely remember something about that in FES.
Okay, because yeah, that kind of, if that was new, I would say that's a pretty solid hint, because they said you play Innocent Sin online.
Oh, yes, because one of your character names. Yes.
You can play Innocent Sin online.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. You know what? Fuck it. If they want to Persona 5 royalify all like Persona, well, I know you don't want that to happen at 2, so I don't know what they'll do with 2.
I wouldn't want that to happen in the trilogy. Social links do not belong in the original trilogy.
Sure.
Full
So whatever
stop.
they do with 2, whatever. But 4, fuck it. Do it. That'd be cool. I'm down.
Yeah, I would, again, 4 is a game I want to finish. I enjoy it every time I start it up. Certainly more than fucking 3. But I started Persona 4 base and Golden.
Based.
Persona 4 Base Edition and Golden a few times now. And even when I'm like, okay, I should start doing this so I can start capturing footage for my side project there, I still couldn't be fucked to get past the second dungeon in the game. And I don't know what it is, but it fucking doesn't grab me. And
Yeah.
it sucks because I'm like, yeah, this is a good game, but it doesn't have that just something special about it.
You know what? I don't know if it's because we're all in a Persona mood, which also I need to buy Persona 5 from Best Buy. Is it still on sale? It's like $30 on Switch right now. I really want to buy that just to have my Persona collection. I don't know if it's because I'm in a Persona mood, but man, I hopped into 3 and I was having a good time right out the gate. Like I was enjoying it. And you know how hard it is for me to get through the first like 3 hours of any game, just tough as fuck. I sunk like 5 hours into it, like right out the gate, and then next day 5 hours again.
I mean, from what bits and pieces I've seen, it looks like they have done a lot to fucking update the game from what it originally was. So I'm hoping that means I will really enjoy it a lot more now.
Yeah, I'm not. I shouldn't say concerned, but I'm curious to how similar sets of characters you get with each game, because Junpei is Ryuji.
Oh yeah, definitely. That is one thing that if you go through the games consecutively, you do see how a lot of the same archetypes get recycled. 100%.
Yeah, because
It's just the only difference is in some of the minutia of them, and I feel like that's part of the reason why I do adore 5 for many reasons above the others. Is I feel like 3 was interesting in that conceptually they're not really friends. Like they grow bonds towards the end of the game, but you are given the very clear distinction from the beginning of the game that this is a job. They are here for a mission. And then over time, slowly they develop into friends.
They definitely shifted that then.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand what you're saying because the whole point of Persona 5. And go with your point really quick.
At least from how the story was presented in 3 originally, maybe potential script changes notwithstanding, they very much set the kind of standard and concept that the cast is friendly enough with one another and they get along well enough, but C's is a job and they're there to do a job. And then as time continues and as they go through all the shit they go through, they do grow genuine bonds over time. 4 very much kind of sets up we're all kind of just immediately going to build right into the power of friendship right away. But a lot of the depth is lost immediately. There are certain character stories and arcs in 4 that I get really disappointed with just because they're on the cusp of doing something creative and interesting, and they chicken the fuck out with them. And maybe that's why I struggled to get through playing 4 all the way through. I know everything happens in the game. Same with 3. But that's probably why actually playing the games I struggle to want to continue is because I know the potential that was there that wasn't fucking executed on. Whereas 5... there's only 2 real major plot points that I have a gripe with 5.
You know the one.
The pancakes. Pancakes, I will fucking to my dying breath. And I felt... that's all I'm saying. But that's all I'm saying is pancakes. And I feel fucking vindicated. I did not say shit. When I brought Leah through Persona 5 Royal, she immediately was like, also in agreement, because she had the same fucking reaction I did. And I was like, alright, look forward to... here's the Royal version. It's a lot better how they handle it. But in the original version, it's 30 hours of just forgetting that plot point existed. But so I felt vindicated on that one a little bit. And in original 5, the final dungeon with Ryuji, that's the only one I'm like, no, I get why you did what you did, but this was another opportunity to just fucking go for the full gut punch and you didn't do it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, granted, in the grand scheme of things, I'm glad they didn't, but I wish they just didn't tease that to begin with.
Agreed. If you weren't going to do it, don't tease it. Because again, especially where they already did something like that, especially in base 5, it's like, ooh, okay, we're going darker with this one. All right, let's fucking go. But anyways, we'll save the more in depth. I'm so fucking stoked to find, and you need to fucking play Strikers.
Kel said,
Strikers is so fucking good.
Kel said, spoiler alert: the social links were the worst part for me.
For which game?
5 Royal.
What? 5 Royal has the best fucking social links in the entire fucking modern Persona series.
I could see someone not caring for that part versus the other parts, though.
3s were barely fucking anything interesting. 4s were okay. 5, man. So, the only thing that is disastrous about 5 is, especially with the way you start in 5 with that whole first dungeon, and then one of your social links leads to a romantic option with your teacher, feels a little bit like, I don't think you understood the first part of your story, which, shame on me, that was my favorite romance option. But at the same time, like, what the fuck?
I have major issues with the social links. Makes me wonder if I'll get anything out of the other games. So...
real quick, what is it about the social links you don't like? That's the core of the question on that one, I feel, is what do you not like about the social links?
You know what? Actually, save that. No, save it for the games gone by.
We'll save it for the games gone by to do a deeper conversation. But I'm just kind of curious, just initially off the top of your head, why is it the system as a whole, or gameplay mechanic wise, or story? Yeah.
3's spoofs 5 for as far as I can remember. It's like you guys go out there, you hang out, you have a good time, you build your social link, and you move on. So
Yeah, that's what 3 originally did as well. It's just I didn't like most of the stories. The shopkeepers I really adored. I will say I like the shopkeepers.
yeah, so I just activated theirs. I'm trying to get into a relationship with the we goes small hat. Lots to do with how the way a story develops. The female ones especially.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um, I'm trying to talk to the track manager a lot.
Speaking of which, real quick, sorry.
You're good.
That's one change that I know they did do for 3 that I really fucking appreciate. That was also frustrating with the original 3. Originally in 3 and 3 FES / The Answer, you couldn't do social links with female characters past 9 because 9 was a forced romance route.
Huh.
So if you tried to go anything beyond that, you could only do one character to Route 10.
That sucks.
So, because, as we know with Modern Persona, those also have different gameplay advantages and benefits that locked you out of other mechanics in the fucking game.
That's wild. I wonder because I mean I guess I probably I don't know, but I'm sure there's obvious reasons. I was looking up YouTube videos and a short popped up and it was like someone rating essentially via memes each Persona game, and they went how they liked 3 FES, 3 portable, and 4 golden is perfect, but they thought like 5 Royal was just really good. And I'm like, how the fuck do
No, 5 Royal is the fucking peak.
I mean I can understand if you don't like, because again the story wise, right, it's like story of 3 is better, but like the characters in 5 are better, right? There's that meld of a thing that I get, but I don't and some of the comments were back and forth, but a lot of the comments were also like, you can't say 5's not a perfect game if you're saying 3 and 4 were like that.
Yeah,
that's
no,
wild.
3
Like
and 4 were not
gameplay,
perfect games in any.
gameplay is like alone is already telling you like that you can't say that. But anyway, I'm enjoying 3 so far. I'm gonna hop back in once I'm done with Reincarnation. I'm gonna start trying to get through 3 because man, 3, and then you got Final Fantasy Rebirth, and then if you're playing Infinite Wealth, this is such a fucking wild ass year.
Honestly, that's why I'm holding off on 3 right now, is because I know I'm gonna want to play that after Rebirth, because I'm not gonna want to go action RPG, stop to go back to a more traditional RPG, then back into action RPGs. I've been going through the Kingdom Hearts series right now. I want to keep it in the action RPG wheelhouse, and then go into fucking Rebirth. Enjoy I've taken time off of work for fucking Rebirth.
Nice.
So I'm gonna enjoy my time off of work with Rebirth. Enjoy that. Maybe even plow through it all in that one bit of time off. Maybe not.
No. Well, I guess developers always overestimate how long their games are, but I'd be shocked.
Considering the developers are saying it's probably 80 to 100 hours, probably not. But the last time I did go through Persona 5 Royal, I did it in a week.
Oh, you took a week off?
No, like I played while still working and everything. I played through it. I had like 110 hours.
How many times? No, how much time off are you taking?
I'm taking a day off, maybe even a day and a half, because I have a lot of PTO there carried over to the beginning of the year.
Fair. Yeah, and here I am going through fucking Nier, and then here I am, Nier Replicant, Nier Automata, Persona 3. I'm gonna play FF7 right out of the gate. I'm still, I got my trigger finger on Yakuza right now. I don't know why I have this energy in me to say fuck it. Let's knock out all these 100-hour ass games. So maybe fuck it. Maybe this is the year of The Witcher. Maybe this is the year of The Witcher 3 finally.
Maybe if when the new season of games got by, we just immediately
100-hour
with The Witcher. And then, okay, we're going to have The Witcher and Red Dead Redemption 2. Fuck it.
It's funny because, like, we outbuy our backlog infinite full. Like, it's never going to be dwindled down.
No, until the day we maybe get to see retirement. Who knows?
No, like 0%. There's like, it's not humanly possible. Like, if we stop buying games right now, maybe, but like no.
Or maybe if we wean down our collections to the shit we actually just care about wanting to play.
Yeah, no. But like part of me thinks, dude, that'd be sick if we just had a Games Gone By a year. We just knocked out every 100-hour game off our backlog. Because holy shit, you know how amazing that would feel.
I have honestly been like mulling over the idea of starting to do some Fire Emblem stuff in Games Gone By because like
dude,
you
knocking
basically
out
have all
3
of them.
houses would be fucking amazing too.
Oh, you haven't finished 3 Houses?
I haven't started 3 Houses. I played like maybe like an hour of it, dude. And I know it's Persona. It's Fire Emblem Persona. I know that, but anytime anyone says 100 hours, that's the same thing Baldur's Gate 3 right now. Which that maybe it'll happen this year too if I'm on that fucking wagon right now. But it's like fuck, dude. But like here I am. I think my final game tap or my final tap out on Near Reincarnate was like 120 hours. Yeah.
To be fair, I also cost 30 extra hours of that.
No, and then 150 hours. I didn't include that. My save.
Oh shit! All right.
I think my save. It might be 120 hours. I think. I don't know. It's 120, 150. But either way, it's triple digits, right?
Yeah.
Persona 3 is probably gonna land somewhere. Not quite triple digits. But it'll be a hefty boy. But just the idea of like knocking all these out, would it like hinder and like my number of backlog would grow versus that? Yes, but like the weight of like, oh fuck, I can stop. I now, is it possible that like I put 10 hours of Persona 3 this week in like a couple days.
Yeah.
That's a whole game, right? Like that's a whole game. Like,
well, that's the interesting thing because like, and we've talked about this a lot before, like getting the smaller games out of the way is never the issue because especially like every year we do Extra Life. And that's what I stockpile a lot of my small games for is Extra Life of like, all right, how many like 1 to 6 hour tops games can I just like fucking stockpile and just bang out all in that one day?
yeah. But you know what? I just don't have the energy for him. It's wild. Like again, Persona 3 breeze of a 10 hours and I'm like not even cracking the surface of that game. But like I don't know, let's say Sonic Frontiers, let's say it's like 20 hours maybe. I can imagine. I'm just guessing. I can't get past a couple hours. So I want to like, as a person, I need to harness that time because I know my brain. My brain's like, when I'm on something, I'm on something. So if I'm on this path of like, fuck it, let's just go. That's why I'm hustling my ass off. So I drop Persona 3 for a couple days. I'm barging through Near Reincarnate because I'm like, or Reincarnation. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's knock that out. Then I'm gonna go back and barge Persona 3. And then I'm gonna, you know what? There is a extreme possibility I am juggling Final Fantasy with Yakuza by the end of the month. And that's okay with me.
Fuck, what is our March game?
13 Sentinels.
13 Sentinels, that's, fuck, isn't that like 40 hours?
Probably.
Fuck. Let's be...
20 to 40.
Oh, yeah, about 4, completionist is like 38.
So I don't know if we'll go for completion. So like, how much is main story?
Main story just by itself is 30.
Okay, that sounds about right.
Might have to get started early on that game too.
Yeah.
Because I still haven't even started Black Mason. That's a 20-hour game. So I'm like,
it's 20 hours?
Yeah, it's 20 hours.
Fuck. I thought like Half-Life games were like 8 hours.
They are, but this one is a complete rebuilt from the ground up remaster, so it's 20 hours.
How they add 12 hours on remastering it?
Because of the fact that they've added a lot of content that was stuff that the developer... So, the interesting story about Half-Life Black Mesa, TLDR, is it started as a fan project. Valve liked it so much they're like, no, fuck you, we're buying you. And they hired the whole team. And
God,
then they gave them...
hold up real quick. I don't want to interrupt that story. How sick would that be, David, if you were like remastering a game you like? What's a game you love like right now? Let's say you and like the boys went in and started remastering Persona 2.
Hell
and
yeah.
Sega came in and said, fuck it. And like you had email one morning when you're starting. All right, boys, you got your coffee. Let's knock out some of this. And you were like, hey, we'll buy you guys right now.
You know, that's the based option. You don't see Nintendo doing that shit. Nintendo are cucks, and they don't believe in creativity and supporting communities.
Lineup Evo lineup is announced.
Oh, all right, stop everything. That's more important right now.
All right, David. I'm gonna sell these out to you. I'm gonna cover my own screen here.
All right.
Well, I saw 2 already. I saw 3. Okay, Street Fighter 6. Okay.
Expected. All right.
Tekken 8.
Expected. All right.
Mortal Kombat. Expected.
It's
expected.
fair.
It's expected.
Yeah.
No way it's not. Okay. Guilty Gear Strive.
Expected.
King of Fighters.
Ooh, that's a little bit surprising. All right.
Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising.
All right. Grand Blue originally did get a big push before. All right.
Under Night In Birth.
Oh, that's a little surprising. Okay.
David, the last one, David. You are gonna...
Marvel? Are we finally getting Marvel again?
No Marvel.
God damn it!
But you're
Why
gonna...
do you do this to me?
Shut up. You're gonna be so excited right now, David.
But when's Marvel?
David, you're gonna be okay with this. What if I told you one of these games has its predecessor also on here?
These games have its predecessor on here.
What if I told you Street Fighter's 3rd game in the franchise? And
they're doing the original release of Street Fighter 3
Strike.
and New Warriors.
Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is on the fucking ticket, baby.
Let's fucking go! Fucking Third Strike! Holy shit! I mean, I'd rather Marvel, but like...
We got Marvel last year. Okay, we had a great time, and I get it. And I would love to have...
Here's the thing.
It needs to be permanent.
We were originally wanting.
It needs to be permanent,
because originally, to be fair though, originally, before the pandemic started, we were originally promised a fucking true Marvel 2 classic with masters.
And then God said no.
Yeah, God said fuck that shit. We can't have too much fucking based energy in one fucking area, and denied us Marvel 2. But, fucking Third Strike, I'll fucking take it. Let's go. God damn.
Thank you, Abaki.
Hell yeah. Prior to Street Fighter 6, I'd argue the only phenomenal Street Fighter game. I appreciate what Street Fighter 4 did to resurrect the fighting game genre for the mainstream, but honestly, I've never been a big Street Fighter person in the grand scheme of things. And Third Strike, though, fucking peak.
Imagine if Tekken 3 comes in next year.
Just fucking Eddie Gordos and Kings, all the fucking...
One of the comments, wow, no Def Jam Fight for New York?
Fucking cowards. Where is the remaster we were teased?
And fuck them. I'm still upset. I was thinking about that like last month. I'm like, fuck them for that.
You know what? The fact that didn't happen should have been the sign that the other iteration of Games Gone By was meant to fail. That was the first time our Games Gone By blessing had failed us.
So upset. All right, well, Street Fighter 3, David. You should have been there. Imagine you could have entered for Street Fighter 3. You could be on the main stage for Street Fighter 3. David's making a hot take on Twitter. Hold on.
No, just expressing my excitement. It's... I'm fucking... Oh, man. Those are going to be wild to watch.
And David typing
I have so much history to get Leah caught up on when it comes to the history of Third Strike. Because she is, bless her heart, a very patient woman. And every Evo, I make her... Well, I don't make her, but I mean, I sit and watch it. And she's like, you enjoy this, so I want to enjoy this with you.
God bless them for anyone that mine does the same thing with my shit, which is like, God bless you. I don't know why, but hey.
But yeah, so that's one of those things where it's like, oh man,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, and that's the other thing is, like, obviously we're unfortunately never going to get Smash again. That, unfortunately, I doubt will ever happen
Look,
again.
Here's the thing. Does that bum me out? Sure. Also, like, I hate this stupid dumbass infighting of Evo, which is stupid as fuck. I think, like, why would anyone trash any other game for being there? Like, fuck it. But if it gets everyone to shut the fuck up about it, cool. I also don't mind Evo being a strictly arcade fighting game tournament series. Like that's no issue to me whatsoever. Smash should be cool. Smash has a billion other tournaments, totally fine. Evo doing this, cool. Damn, what a great
What I would love to see, and it always gets into the weird fucking caveat territory. You never know how it'll happen, where it's kind of managed by Sony. On one hand, I do appreciate that Third Strike is just even here, showing respect to the legacy of Street Fighter. It makes me wonder if maybe the next season of DLC for Street Fighter characters may even be more closely synergized with Third Strike, and that might be why they're doing it. Yeah, as they should be. Where the fuck is Dudley? How the fuck do we not have Dudley in fucking Street Fighter?
He's gonna be DLC.
And he should have been DLC. He should have been fucking there day one. My fucking homeboy should have been there goddamn day one. Fucking literally, the game that is finally, after 20 some odd years, the sequel to fucking Third Strike. No, barely has any fucking Street Fighter 3
I want to play more
characters.
Street Fighter. I know you're upset with the game, and I understand that 100%. I back that 100%. But I'm aching to get into more Street Fighter again, and Tekken, obviously.
I might rebuy it for PS5 and play it there. I won't ever reinstall it on my PC though.
Let's play for sure when we do that though. I want to play again. That was fun.
But yeah, and honestly, at this point, if I'm gonna put energy into a fighting game, fuck it. We got Tekken 8 now.
Yeah, but hey, you know what was nice though was people on stream saw my progression in a fighting game.
That's true.
Like,
you fucking
grew.
evolved like crazy. I'm proud of you.
I never
put in the work.
Never put fucking time into a fight stick. I couldn't get a. I remember the first couple streams of me was screaming that I couldn't get a fucking what do you call it? What's her Sparrow kick at the front?
Oh, the spiral arrow?
Yeah, I couldn't get the spiral arrow down at the end, and by the time Dave, like our last time that Dave and I streamed.
Yeah, my man's struggling with a basic Shoryu motion.
Yeah, and then by the time we wrapped up and we started like our last stream with that, I was hitting David with like active combos. Even Dave was like, "What the fuck?"
Hell yeah, we were actually getting closer to being fairly even on that. Yeah, I was proud of you.
I think we need to boot back in. I think we need to have the FGC nights again like that because we got multiple games. I would like to balance it multiple games too.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna play Tekken a little bit at some point soon. I do want to see if maybe we can try to find some time soon to stream that. Again, February is an unfortunately
let's say this
fucking loaded month.
Let's say this.
But
we won't promise it. We'll try it to stream that. In March, Tekken Night. Kel says yes. I would love a Tekken Night, but here's the dream, David. Here's what I want. Because I am trying to make more time for myself and do more stuff. I like to make more content as well. I think it'd be super cool if we can commit, especially because we don't have Monday nights. We cut those out now, or we could toss around another night. I can toss around whatever night, kind of, and you're open to any other night because I think I was gonna do Monday for something else, but whatever. That's news for later. But I'm thinking like, dude, I think it'd be cool if like, obviously not every Friday or like every Saturday or something, but like every other one maybe or something. But what I would love more than ever is to like straight up let's have a pizza and FGC night. That's just like let's like we order some junk food, we drink a little bit, we pop open whatever stream we have, we open up a lobby. Tonight we're playing Street Fighter for like 3 or 4 hours.
Honestly,
tonight we're playing Tekken for 3 or 4 hours.
I'd fucking love that because that's what I used to do with a group of friends I had.
I know. That's
every
just,
Friday.
You and the boys just get that right. Did that? Yeah, I like the core memory for you. Huh? I knew that's why I had to pause for a second. Like that.
Like
That's
for
the
a solid year and a half, it was just me and like 4 other friends that just every Friday
Dude.
night we'd get Thai food and fucking play fighting games.
like, dude, just isn't that? And I know, like again, and I didn't do that with fighting games. I did that with Smash so much, and seeing my friends, it bums me out because like, and again, it's Welcome to Blue Rubies, right? That's where we go on our tangents.
Hell yeah.
But like, it bums me out how time is because like you don't have time for everything, and it's like you have to sacrifice some stuff for the betterment of whatever else you're doing. And like I'll always miss those nights where it was me and the bros. We ordered a fuck ton of food, or we went out to some place, got some burritos real quick. We got some burritos. We were hanging out there. It's 1 o'clock. Hey, let's all get some burritos. Drove out there for like an hour, come back in. 2 o'clock in the morning. We're still playing Smash till whatever. Like that's the shit right there. Like that's the homie time. So I'm like, I would love to do that. If we can get some group people, let's open up a lobby. We could do Smash or whatever too. We could do some lobby stuff.
I'm down because I like the idea of also rotating it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do one game forever because granted, side tangent, Smash competition picked up in my state big time, dude.
Really?
Yeah, like my best player bleeds. Like he is that. Do you bleed? Like he was undefeated, and like he got beat by the guy that he beat twice, and then yesterday he got beat by the team that we beat last year pretty easily. And that guy that beat him, he's pretty good. Like I'm like, okay. So I talked to him. I passed him in the hallway. I'm like, hey, we got to get some training up. I did not want to see you get bopped like this your last season because he's a senior. Granted, he's also gonna have.
Shit.
He also has like a.
There's a pride there then, yeah.
Yeah, but he's also one of those guys that takes all AP classes and it has like a 79.0 GPA. He'll probably be ranked first in class, if not like right there.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's a smart kid. But I had to flex a little bit on him, so I'm like, because he got like frustrated. He's the type. I like the way he plays though, because he'll respect a lot. It's like, all right, I lost. He beat me, but he's like, you know, and then immediately like after he loses, like I gotta grind it out. So he and it's also online. There was lag. So that's also I'm not trying to give myself like some excuses, but also like that is a factor. So I told him to play Ultimate Team, play online more. But he went on my account.
Respect the lemons.
Yeah. Well, he went on my account. And I don't let any other student play on my account because I have every character in Elite Smash. I'm like, do not touch mine. I had one. I felt bad. One of my boys. He's not very good, and he was like, play online more. He went on my Switch and went. I was like, wait. Not on that Switch, and I grabbed him another one. I was like, I'm sorry. Like I'm gonna be a little bit rude about that. But I let him play. He lost. I think he lost 3 games like in a row. I'm like, all right, get off my Switch. And I got on mine, and the thing I don't like about Smash right now, genuinely, is that whenever I play a Steve, a Sora, or a Kazuya, or a Terry, I have to change my brain. I can't play regular Smash against those characters, which bugs the fuck out of me. Like I'm like, I can turn my brain off, autoplay, and have a good time, and I'll lose a billion times when I'm on autopilot, but I'm having fun, and I'll lose to every other character. But whenever I play those, I have to turn my brain off. I'm like, oh fuck, all right, I gotta think whenever I play this. Even if I'm trying to have fun, I gotta think. So I flex a little bit where I go online, I beat I beat an Inkling, I beat something else, and then I'm playing a Terry. And then I'm trying to talk to the crew, and I'm like, all right. And then the Terry just wipes me of my first 2 stocks. And they look at me, I'm like, all right. And I have my music on too, so I'm taking it a little like half seriously. I'm like, all right. And came back and just like swept them at 3 stock, and they look at me like, 3 stock comeback. I'm like, it's possible. I mean, literally Smash. There is no game. That's what I love about Smash. I'm like, does not matter how bad you're getting destroyed, dude. The games can flip, like in fighting games in general, right? But like, we've seen it. There's no such thing as being behind.
Again, Justin Wong literally made his FGC career about never give up.
Yeah, the game is not over, which I get frustrated. My some of my newer players, I'm like, you guys are getting flustered too easy, and then you gotta stop. Like, until you see the game is not over. Like, you just gotta keep playing. Like, if the way I always think about it, especially when I'm playing by myself, I'm like, all right, if they did that to me, I could do it to them, and you just do that, and you're good. So like I've had the craziest comebacks ever. I'm like, anyone can. It could. You could also just get nervous and just flop. Like,
Sorry, other non-related to FGC breaking news just happened, and it's fucking wild.
What happened?
But I want you to continue your thoughts.
No, but anyway.
I have it up on Twitter, so I'm not gonna forget about it.
Okay. Yeah, no, so I would love for us to have a night where we just be bros and just
Agreed. And like I have two thought processes of it. And one, I just genuinely miss fucking playing fighting games. Leah's cousin, that I'm very close with as well, is very big on fighting games to the point where she's, taught her kids to play fighting games. And whenever we have like Thanksgiving or Christmas and everyone comes over, that's kind of what we do, is like the whole family just fucking plays Marvel or fucking Street Fighter or something. And it's kind of cool.
Just walking in and you just hear the rotating of the sticks and the clacking of the and like in the GameCube stuff, you hear the controllers. There's something about it, dude.
It hits different, and so I'm excited to go back to a lot of fighting games, because there's so many fighting games where, I played a little bit, like the fucking Power Rangers fighting game. I had a lot of fun with when we kind of were playing that, but like I only touched it really during that, and I was like, I kind of want to go back to that. And there's even so many other fighting games in my collection. Like I bought that Gray and Blue collector's edition when it was $20, but I never fucking touched it. Now the remastered version with more characters is out, and it's like, yeah, there's a lot of other fucking games I'd love to give more of a chance.
We tried to do that for a little while, which was fun, but time.
Yeah, and so I'd like to go back and honestly use it for that purpose of like, I still buy a lot of fighting games when they come out. I just don't invest the same level of care into them, because now there's so many that are like actively in play that's like, all right, well, maybe like you get a week out of me, and then that's kind of it, unfortunately. But also too, I kind of wanted to do this with Street Fighter 6, but honestly, after a little bit of figuring out what was going on with the meta of Street Fighter 6, I kind of didn't care as much. But I kind of want this to be not necessarily the last hurrah per se, but figuring out if this is the last hurrah of me playing fighting games competitively, in the sense that like I want to really put some time into Tekken 8. Tekken has always been one of my favorite series, and Tekken 7 I put a lot of fucking grind into, and I really enjoyed. And I think Tekken 8 might be the last game, potentially, that I take seriously. Like, I actually want to see if I, one, really click with the characters like I have throughout the years. One, I really want to try Reina. Reina looks super fucking fun. It's unfortunate that, like, everyone's fucking playing Reina right now.
Yeah, you always default to the fucking you and Ken and like last in fucking Street Fighter 6, dude.
Look, I've been playing Ken since fucking Street Fighter 2, so I don't want to hear shit.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that's like, all right, I kind of want to play Reina, but then at the end of the day, even if she doesn't click with me, Asuka and Lily, my two mains for ever since Tekken 5, essentially, are still there. And Lily especially, I've really leaned into a lot more over the years. And so I kind of want Tekken 8 to be that, like, the last gauge on if I take fighting games seriously or not, where I kind of want to play it, get into the competitive scene a little bit, and try going to locals. I was going to do that with 6, but I didn't really get the gumption for Street Fighter 6 to actually go to locals. If I end up vibing with Tekken 8, I want to. I almost did. I saw there was a local tournament. And I'm like,
forgot the day.
I forgot the day. And honestly, life has just been like, ugh. But if I use that always as an excuse of like, oh, life is busy, then like I'll never have the time for it. And so I want this to be the last fighting game that I be like, okay, am I actually ever gonna take time to like take this competitively and seriously? Or is this always just gonna be like, I'm a pub room stomper and that like any casual that I play against, I'm always gonna be better than, but the only people I'll ever have like a good match against is my other friends that are like, yeah, we're good at fighting games, but we're not like the elite of competitive. And so I want to try to actually get into Tekken 8 competitively. and see where that goes. And if I can't actually either just simply commit to it, then I'm like, I just don't have the time for it. Then I'm gonna take that as no, I'm just too old. I'm out of the scene in that
Sure.
competitive sense, but I can still enjoy them casually. Or if it's just like, yeah, no, I'm trying, I'm putting in the work, and I'm just not getting where I want to be in it, then it's like, all right, I'm just fucking too old to be competitive then, and that's fine. But I think Tekken 8 might be my last hurrah of like actually being competitive in fighting games.
That's fair. Kelsey, I put over 20 hours into 8, and I'm loving it.
Fucking A. DLC, be careful. The DLC has leaked for Tekken 8 already for the story DLC.
Oh, the story DLC?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, I've been seeing video clips and screenshots of the DLC for Tekken 8 for story DLC, so be careful on that one.
I'm excited for I'm excited to try out Tekken 8 because I'm now for the first time forced to try someone new. Because now I don't have Eddie.
Oh,
until...
yeah, because you don't have Christy or Eddie currently.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
Eddie will be day one DLC.
Yeah, which is good.
Not day one, but wave 1 DLC.
Which is good. Because if, like, for whatever reason, if I just don't click with anyone, cool. I got my backup right there. But it'll be cool because I'm forced to now try someone outside my comfort zone. I was already trying Azucena a little bit, and she was cool. I want to try everyone else a little bit and see where I'm at, but that'll be fun to...
I could see you maybe enjoying either Fong, or I could even potentially see you enjoying fucking Zhao Yu. I could see you maybe enjoying her style a bit.
Huh.
Just because she is that, not that necessarily Christy or Eddie 100% relied on their stance canceling. But because she does have a lot of that multi-stance options, I could see you potentially enjoying her.
Okay. Yeah, so
She's just not as fast, which is the key component.
Kelson, I've been loving June.
Man, I fucking love the memes of June already. I haven't touched 8. I promised I wouldn't touch it until you had it. And I'm sticking true to that promise. I want us to be the Ken and Ryu of Tekken and fighting games in general. We stay on equal paths on that regard. But it's one of those things that I've been seeing a lot of the Tekken community getting really fucking mad about how safe June is, to the point I saw a meme posted this morning of like how safe June is, and it's a picture of June with like 20 fucking seatbelt buckles strapped around her. And I'm like, oh good, that's got to be fun to deal with later.
Yeah, so I'm excited. To go back, I can't promise you, David, that if I do this, I want to do a bunch of new fighting games, kind of like that. I don't have the mental energy to learn a bunch of fighting games now. You see how much of a struggle it was to like grasp one and really want to hone on it.
That's fair. You don't have the years of legacy experience where you can kind of just hop into anything.
Yeah, maybe one day, but that's not of interest to me. Of interest to me is right now is playing games that I know enough of, and for us to just to hang out and play some games, and then because I am competitive. I am very much so competitive, and I was talking to the girlfriend on the way back. We were getting food or something, and I was talking about how it's frustrating that when we lose, because I feel like I lose, I let them down being a coach. And I'm
Yeah.
I can promise you, put stakes in the line, and even though I know there are some coaches out there that do play Smash just like me, I can promise you, like, when there's nothing on the line, I'll fuck around, and I'm not trying to win. I don't give a fuck. It's cool if I do. I really don't give a shit. I'll lose more than I win ever. It's like people think I'm sandbagging. I'm like, I'm not. I just don't give a fuck. Like I'm just kind of fucking around. And our school might drop in ranks, not ranks, but like in leagues, because our school is kind of smaller than a lot of other ones. And in the upper division of the rank that we might be in, one of my friends who is a competitive Smash player is coach of that. And he looked at me when we were playing live, because he won grand finals for his league. We won for ours, and we were talking that morning, and he's like, "Hey, let's play a game right now." I'm like, "All right, cool." And they saw us there. I was like, "Ooh, the coach is gonna play." And I went in there, and real quick, boom, 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 boom. I took the lead, and I was like popping off. And I was like, all right, cool. And now I'm just like, then I fuck around. I'm just doing dumb shit, which is fun because I'm like, all right, cool. Did it work? Nah. Did that work? Nah. And then he beat me. I'm like, all right, good
Oh
game.
shit.
No, because I'm fucking around. Like that's not me trying to like talk shit. It was a fun little game, right? But if it's like stuff's on live where stakes on it, then I'm like, all right, I'll go in, right? Like I'm like taking it seriously. I'm very competitive with that.
Yeah.
And I was telling her, I was like, man, like I'm so tired right now. Like I have taken a morning class to teach for extra money. I am juggling this film stuff that I'm trying to expand more. I am trying to get esports back up. Like our esports stuff, our numbers are struggling because kids just need like to be handheld to get their grades up, which is just tough because you gotta like really put effort for every single one student. That's what's about other students I have that have been coming to me asking for advice about stuff because I'm doing a lot of senior stuff, so it's getting emotional for them now because they're like, fuck, like we're going out. I'm like, okay, I'm tired there. I'm doing like all this shit, and that's like just the surface level, and I'm tired. But then I'm like, but like Smash, like getting that win was such a high for me, and I'm like, I want that for my boys one more time, and I'm like, I know that if I start competing, they'll see me and they're like, all right, we got to pick it up. If coach is picking it up, we're gonna pick it up, right? And I got lazy with it this year because I kind of went on autopilot. I'm like, I trust you guys, and to be fair, like our team is still great. I guarantee you, worst we ever do is like top 5. I can promise you. That's not good enough, but that's the worst I do. But I'm like I autopiloted, whereas before I'm like grinding my fucking ass out. Like, all right, we're doing this. So like part of me, I'm like, all right, fuck. And then Wednesdays after practice, they have free tournaments over at the university that I try to encourage my students to go to, and I keep telling them I'm going to be there, and then I say, oh, I can't. I'm always at a last second flake. I'm like, I can't. I promise. Just because I have so much stuff ahead, and I'm like, I need to start doing that. But then Wednesdays, like I'd be at work at 7:30, go till 4, practice till 6, go to tournament, and I'd be getting home at like 9. And then you're talking like 3 extra hours, right? And then this is when I'm trying to game 2 more. I'm actually having fun playing video games right now. So I'm like, fuck, what balance do I have? So it's been a conundrum, but that's that competitive drive in me where I'm like, I'm willing to put the burn in and tired just because I want to win instead of bringing it all the way back. You hear me when I play these games. Like I'm having fun. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not salty at you. I remember there was the beginning part where we were playing Ken and you beat me like 20 to like 1, and you asked me like, do you want me to swap characters? And I said no. Like, stick with this character because I need to learn.
Yeah.
And that's not me like. And you were hearing me. Like, it didn't sound like I was having fun. Like I was like yelling. I was not.
No,
really, I wasn't doing
but
the.
At the same time, like you understood that's like shit. I need to plug in those gaps in my weaknesses.
It's like I'm not doing a GSP. I wasn't saying fuck you, fuck your mother, go die, and you're trash.
This fucking game is broken.
Yeah.
Ken's just clearly the best fucking character ever made.
And in fact, I know for a fact, and I said this too because I didn't want to be DSP, where I said, I swear I input that. I promise you, I know I did it. I swear I did, but I know I didn't, if that makes sense, right? I was like, I know I'm not correctly inputting this, because what I remember noticing whenever I got better was my hand placement on the joystick was a little off, and I would always do diagonal up instead of just straight that way. That was one of my things I had to adjust. But you were hearing me yell, and it seemed like I wasn't having fun. I was having fun because I saw the learning, and obviously eventually it happened, right? Eventually we were able to go almost toe-to-toe with your cannon. We were going back and forth enough. Like, you still had the edge, but it was like not nearly the edge as the first game, which was cool.
No, we weren't going like 20+ games until you finally got something.
Right, like there was, and I was able to get like multiple games in a row sometimes too, right? So it was like I was getting there, which was cool. But like I can't do that with casual fighting games because then I'll want to like that will frustrate me because I know I won't put the time into that, right? Street Fighter 6 I was enjoying so much, and I told we that was the whole thing about that, was like I am putting my time into Street Fighter 6 to finally learn a Street Fighter and to learn arcade stick, and that was why I was willing to put all the time into being frustrated in that and to learn, which I eventually did. It's been cool. I even hop into some of my friends' streams every once in a while who they're like diamonds. They're like anywhere from gold to diamonds, and I'll hop in. I hopped in once, like I told on the podcast, like a few months back. I probably like October-ish. I hopped in, October, November, and I hopped in, and I did all right still. Like I still went even with some people. I didn't win a lot, but I mean I hadn't played in a couple months. But even then, they were on stream like, "Hey, you got some good mix-ups." Like I'm like, "Cool." Like I'm getting there.
Yeah.
And that's the fun part to me. So like to round about and wrap this conversation up, I want to have that like bro time again. I would love for us to like, hey, it's not the same, right? It's not because we're gonna make that. In fact, it'd be cool. And I was thinking about this too. Maybe, like I said, and we mentioned this before. Stream's not really there. There's some edginess jokes and some like some silly like offensive humor, but not really, right? Like it's a mild
Yeah.
offensive because we're not really those kind of like people anymore. Just kind of outgrew that humor, but I think we're cool enough. I think that I wouldn't even mind if we opened up a new channel, had fighting game nights, and I can open up to students too, because some of my students have Tekken, some of my students have Street Fighter. I think it'd be fun if they just kind of saw two old guys just like having a time, right? Like
Honestly, I think back and like it's still one of my favorite fucking things to talk about. The glory of getting too far to thinking you have a match. I still talk about, and I fucking I lost the link to the clip. You might have to go finding it again. When we were fucking really in the midst of those streams, and I fucking nearly perfected your goddamn motherfucking ass. And suddenly I got so fucking desperate for that fucking kill. They're like, nah, I can read this bitch now. And just, it's the perfect fucking learning tool of never get cocky until the match is over.
was it it was Street Fighter?
No, it was in
Tekken.
fucking Tekken, yeah.
I think I know what it
was
is.
my Lily against your fucking,
Oh no,
Oh,
no, there was a no, hold on. I have this clip though. Hold on.
I don't know, which clip is it?
You're gonna be so upset. Tekken, by the way, it really amplifies those clips because you just you
The slow-mo especially.
that's what it is. It's a slow mo that just like really catches you. This one, let me put it on for the stream right now. Shouts to Casey for saving it.
Alright, let's see here.
All right.
The fuck did I play Hayashi? I didn't even remember this.
I didn't play. I think we were playing some randoms. He motherfucker ducked.
It's so bullshit.
Oh man, motherfucker just ducked that.
Oh man. Holy fuck, that was ages ago, because goddamn, the room layout's so fucking sparse in comparison.
Right.
Holy fuck.
All right, let me look for this clip real quick. That happened a couple times in Street Fighter as well. I remember.
We did have some interesting upsets in Street Fighter as well,
Oh
but
no! I remember. I remember the biggest read of all time where you were like, "Fuck you." Remember, because I had you trapped in the corner, and I called I called you out like 3 times in a row, and I just knew.
Oh, that's right, with the fucking.
And
Wasn't
then
it like the
I knew
4 throws in a
yeah,
row?
I called you out, and then I knew you were like, all right, he's gonna mix it up because he's frustrated. So I jumped like 4 years ahead of you, and you jumped into me, and I read that.
Oh, fucking Christ. Yeah, and then there was like, there's no way. Because I don't know why. You fucking get me with the fucking no mix up a lot of like, no, he's not gonna fucking throw here. He's fucking thrown 3 times in a row. Asshole's not gonna fucking throw a 4th time. Fucking lo and behold, throws a goddamn 4th time.
There's the rule of threes. Did I ever teach you this rule I have?
No.
Rule of threes. In a lot of fighting games, and this is obviously, and I tell my sisters, this goes only at this level of league. Catch someone once, catch someone twice, third's a mix-up. I can promise you. Or third, they're trying to get out of it. Like it's like the fool me. It's like the all right, you hit him once,
shame
but
on
then
me.
fool me twice. You're like, all right, cool. I've learned my lesson. Third time, I'm gonna do something different. All right, hit him that time with that. So it's like it's literally rule of threes. So I always love doing that. Where is this at? Because I know what we're talking about, but I also don't see where this is at. Or was it? It wasn't on YouTube, I don't think.
No, this was on Twitter that you had the clip.
Oh, it was on Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being on Twitter at all. Okay, let's look. Ba-dum-ba-bum. And you know what? I probably tagged you in it, huh?
Yeah, let me actually see if I can find it in the media tab here.
Let's see. Let's see.
It's not on my media tab, so it might be in your media tab.
I'm already skimming by. And I said it was Tekken?
The one that I'm thinking of is Tekken, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Well,
I'll look for it. It's surely somewhere. Yeah. Kelsey, I totally want to hop in on that. Hell yeah, dude. The Street Fighter nights were or just in general, fighting game nights were fun.
hell yeah.
I had to have clipped it somewhere though, because I wouldn't have.
I think it was one of those things where it was like a console clip on your Xbox.
Ooh, that changes things then.
Yeah.
I'll have to look. I had another fighting game of us though somewhere. I thought I saw for a second.
This sucks. Shut up. Look, you're looking at that fucking card you're like, oh, he's
While you're doing that,
You
the
thought.
reaction I had for what I was scrolling through, and you're like, oh, what's up?
You thought.
Fucking
You
the
thought
creator, the original writer of the Mega 10 series is fucking based as an individual. A lot of people were talking about how we've had fan translations for the first two Megami Tensei books, but we haven't really had any official translations of any of them, nor has there really been an attempt to do a fan translation of the third book. Literally, the original writer of the novel series, like, fuck it, I'll do it myself then. And is working on doing his own English translation of the third book.
Hell yeah. That's sick. Yeah, David, there's another clip there for you.
It's this one here. Oh yeah, shit. I was like, no, you're gonna fucking dive in. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll look for that clip. It'd be fun. But we always have so many clips of fighting games in general, which is fun. Yeah, the only one that sticks out to me was that Street Fighter clip because you were so fucking mad. You were like legitimately just like so pressed that I called that out. You said that's fucking bullshit.
I was fucking pissed.
Yeah, man.
Just like, goddamn, if I could just find this fucking Tekken clip. This is probably arguably the most pissed I've ever been.
I'll if you remind me, I'll look later tonight. It'd be fun to get highlights. You know what though? If we have a new channel, we could just do fighting games and that, and we could just share clips that night. That'd be fun too.
True.
But yeah, I'd be down for Street Fighter, for Tekken, Smash. I'd even like dabble in some other stuff eventually, because I would like to eventually try like King of Fighters and Guilty Gear and stuff like that as well. David, we uh-oh. What happened?
I'm scrolling through my fucking retweet history because I'm like, I know I retweeted it. And I fucking come across in March 2023 when Linus misunderstood what it meant to say
the hard R.
Yeah.
Fucking so stupid. So stupid. Dude,
I used to say the hard R all the time. Fucking what?
The coach was like, and I swear you saw like the entirety of, well, I mean, granted it happened eventually, right? But you saw the entirety of their professional history just flush between their eyes. They're like, oh, we're done. We're fucked. We're literally never gonna recover from this.
I mean, if the sexual assault allegations and all that didn't fucking tank them, at this point nothing is. So
It's unfortunate, but hey.
you know what disgusts me? I mean, a lot of things disgust me about Linus and the way he runs, or at least I guess at this point used to run that company. What video really pissed me off, not on a humanitarian level, because the humanitarian stuff will always piss me off the most, but on just a business level. I fucking remember in one of his videos he talked about how a company wanted to buy him out for like $1 billion. Like, we're gonna give you $1 billion for Linus Media Group. He was like, no.
Bye, I'm out. Good luck, everyone.
The cruel irony of it is that, like, 2 years prior to that, he had posted a video saying, he's like, you know, I really just want to retire soon. My kids, you know, I swore to myself that I would have a better work-life balance once my kid got to an age where they're going to start remembering things. They're like 7 and something else, and he's still fucking working absurd hours. I'm like, you fucking had a chance where you could have gotten $1 billion. Literally, you and your family set for fucking the rest of your generation's fucking existence. And your fucking family, like, your great ancestors would never have to worry a day in their goddamn lives level of fucking absurd wealth. And you could have just spent, if that's truly how you felt and how you fucking cared about things, you would have taken that fucking payday and never fucking worried about a goddamn thing in your life again. And if you really got bored and you're like, you really had that creative itch, you're a fucking billionaire at that point. You can do whatever the fuck you want and then truly do things at a passion level.
It's almost like irresponsible just not do that because you're like, come on, dude.
Like, fucking any other person, someone offers you a fucking $1 billion payday, and you're like, no, thanks. I have my ethics. I'm not, I don't want to sell my company because I'm afraid of what that might become at that point. Fuck off. Absolutely. Fuck right on off.
Right. Anyway, David, there's another story that was going around.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories. Speaking of companies that are really bad about neglect, Microsoft might be making murmurs about what I've been saying for fucking a year plus.
No, I'm gonna throw you in a little caveat. I said they're gonna stay exclusive because that would be stupid not to. You said that the Bethesda games. Now we're not. Now you're not wrong, but also like this is not the same conversation we're having where it's like almost full third party they're talking about. We were talking about Activision stuff or no Bethesda stuff. Not this is like a full fledged like they're thinking of like expanding out 100%.
Yes, they're looking to go fully 100%.
Sega.
Putting Sega, where they're putting all their stuff multi-platform. They're still going to keep their hardware division, but it looks like they're more open to the idea of putting all of their properties elsewhere.
David,
which I will also argue. I even said I could see Game Pass on fucking Switch.
Oh, I've always said that. That's the plan. Like, they would love to do that. David, I want to ask your opinion, but I'm gonna be a little selfish and cut ahead of you because I'm the Xbox person, right? We talked about this.
That's fair.
There's a lot of people online that are upset. Okay.
A lot of people that need to go outside and touch fucking grass.
I mean this from the bottom of my heart. First on this is not sarcastic except for this first part. Like if you're this is not sarcastic, but making death threats, go fuck yourself. That's always a thing. When I was younger, I gave a shit. When I couldn't afford the consoles and I had to pick a side, yeah, we're at Playground console wars are a thing. If you genuinely give a fuck, stop it. Find some help.
Get some help. Yeah.
I understand kind of like what you mean because the Xbox is home to Halo. Like if there's no that they get that, but also I don't. Like who the fuck cares? That's like why you even have an Xbox? I'm just gonna buy a PS5. I don't know. Microsoft Suite's also on Mac. Why the fuck like it, and why people still buy like this and that? Like it doesn't fucking matter. Like PC people don't give a fuck, and that's how it really should be, right? Like
Yeah.
the thing is like the exclusive. Okay, cool, but like ultimately people just like sure exclusives do matter. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but exclusives don't hold the weight of the console. Like people mostly buy FIFA and Madden and Call of Duty on consoles. That's all they do. Everyone's not buying God of War. Everyone's buying Call of Duty. Everyone's
Yeah.
not buying Halo. Everyone's buying Madden. Like third parties hold everything on there, and it just the exclusives influence you which way to go. Sure.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like once they get the God of War once every 3 or 4 years, which again, that's not sustainable. There's a reason Sony's like trying to back out of that because they realized, oh, we're putting all this fucking money into this stuff for a one-time purchase kind of thing. Like it's not profitable, and they do need to scale back. Same thing Marvel movies, right? Oh, we're putting budgets of all this hundreds of millions of dollars. Stop that. That's literally not. You're not making money. You need to have smaller scale stuff. Not everything needs to be the most grandiose thing of all time. I hate that. It's so stupid. I don't. I understand from like a like inner fan thing, right? Again, I'm an Xbox guy. That was where my come on, buddy. That was where I diverged. And I was just telling the girlfriend about that whole thing that we had, where it's like it's crazy how buying a console literally changed who you are as a person from as a kid, right? So like Xbox will always be the home of that, but you're an adult. Who the fuck cares? If you're getting pressed about this, I don't think you should care. I don't see the reason in it. If you are someone like a teenager who put all your money into an Xbox and suddenly you don't need to and you felt like you wasted your money, I can understand from there. If genuinely like money is an issue and you gotta stay on one box, I can understand there. Me and David have both said it, but
Yeah.
like I always felt like the model, if it was going full third party, was totally fine in the whole. All right, I get Xbox, I get Game Pass, and that's all I need. Or yeah, I get the game on PlayStation 5, pay $70 for it. A great model for Microsoft. You get the money for the physical, or you get your subscription money. Like that has been a thought process, and like I know we both have said that. Like that's a solid model. I think. Like, hey, you guys want to play Halo on PlayStation so bad? Do it. Cool. Awesome. Okay, Game Pass subscribers get day one though.
Yeah.
Cool. And I guess it doesn't. I don't understand the big sting of it because like, okay, you could literally like, Xbox games you could play on streaming on your phone whenever you want or on your PC. I don't give a shit. Like the whole idea of like you can only play on Xbox. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Let people play wherever the fuck they want. I would say the exact same thing if Sony folded and did the same thing. I'd feel better if Nintendo folded and did the same thing. Like, let the games exist other places. Holy shit. Let me play Tears of the Kingdom on hardware that can sustain the game.
Fuck, I gotta pee real quick.
David's got to pee. He waits right until I'm done with my thought. Just do that. Look at this cat. Not a single thought exists in his tiny, tiny brain, if it exists. Ain't that right, buddy? Actually, while David's gone, I'm gonna look at Best Buy and check to see if Persona 5 is still on sale, because I will buy that this week for sure. It is. Oops, I just saw it. Yeah. No, it sold out. Fuck. Dang it. Is that anywhere else? Persona 5 Switch on a GameStop? I should have bought it. Fuck. Oh, I get it used, I guess. Is it available anywhere new? Um. Oh, sorry, buddy. Watch out. I want this on Switch. Damn it. Pre-owned anywhere. Fuck. eBay it is. I should have bought it on. I should have bought Persona 5 on Switch. I guess it's cheap enough other places. That's fine. All right, David. Go ahead and speak.
I got nothing to add.
You don't have anything to say about the Xbox going third party?
No, I mean, other than the fact that I basically predicted that this is where they were going, because again, they're of course, hardware sales, but I figured for a long time that Game Pass was their way to go forward. And it's like, all right, how do you go ahead and want people to encourage to get Game Pass? Fucking put your shit everywhere. So yeah, I'm excited to see it. It's one of those things that I don't have a whole lot to add, because it's kind of what I've been saying for a while now.
Right, and also like, good. I think more people should play Halo.
Yeah, okay, I guess if I'm going to add anything more, speaking as someone that, again, gets everything, I will say, I mean, my physical Xbox collection for the series is barely existent. One of the reasons is because, yeah, I pay for fucking Game Pass. I'm going to enjoy the Game Pass games there, so I don't feel the need to immediately hop and get the physical games. But honestly, too, like, Xbox doesn't release enough, like, exclusive titles for me to care necessarily. I mean, it's a bigger thing now that they have Bethesda, and that they have fuck, I'm escaping the name right now. Fucking New Vegas people.
Obsidian.
Obsidian, there we go. Because definitely fucking Avowed day one playing that. I'm very excited for that, and I'll be getting that physical just to have sealed and to support the developers. But that's kind of the thing, is like, I buy Xbox games at this point just to support the developers, and not necessarily because I care about having it, or in the case of like this, where it's like, yeah, I predict that's going to be hard to get later on down the road otherwise, so I guess I'll get it on that platform. But I think the only other things that, like, I've purchased for Xbox, I think I had got Persona 3 and 4 of the Xbox versions for those. And I think that's probably it. Otherwise than that, it's still predominantly PlayStation 5 and Switch, which my Switch library has gotten fucking beefy. But
Switch is a good library to have, I feel like.
Switch is great for many reasons. One, it is the largest console library to be import friendly, in the sense of so many games you can save a lot of fucking money on by just importing a Japanese or Asian Hong Kong variant of the game. Save a fuck ton of money on it, and it plays all natively in English. Doesn't fucking matter. And I think there's like documented 400 some odd games that do that. And that's a good chunk of my library, honestly, is either Japanese or Hong Kong imports for my Switch library, just because, fuck it, all plays in English and you get to save a lot of money on that way. Or in some instances, it's the only way that they have a physical option. But it's still that extra bit of like, cool, you have the option. And honestly, the weird fact that Nintendo has been very lax on censorship this console gen, to the point where we've even started seeing at basically the tail end of the Switch's lifespan some porn games popping up on the Switch, which is kind of fascinating. Meanwhile, on Sony, we've seen a lot of heavy censorship on their games, which is a little upsetting and a little concerning. But at the end of the day, fucking, it's a good time to be a Switch owner. We'll see what happens with Switch 2 around the corner. I have a lot of hopes for that console. As far as Xbox is concerned at this point, I only buy games for it if they're like dirt fucking cheap, or I want to support the devs, or if I think it's going to be just hard to find later. I don't have the urge to collect for the series like I do the PS5 and the Switch.
Right. I have a solid Xbox collection, but I mean, I'm also that person.
I was gonna say you've been in the ecosystem
Yeah.
the most.
And I all I'll say is this: the only way that Xbox disappoint me is if they cut off, and we've seen that with this that's a very heavily potential future. They cut off all support for disk drives on their consoles.
And that is one thing that I did tweet out as a concern, is because they've tried to do it before.
They've been and we got that leak showing
got
that
that leak.
the Pro model is digital only. I don't mind digital only options, but there should always be an option for disk. And I hate that it's probably leaning towards external disk drives. It's probably going to be that way, which is really annoying. But
I think anything that calls itself a Pro model by default always has that built in. If you are the Pro,
I will pay the extra top dollar because I'm already getting the higher end thing. Let me have all the features I need to. And if you know what, it's clunky the way Sony did it, but the PS5 Slim, it was $50 cheaper, something like $100 cheaper, something like that. $50 more, and you complete the whole thing with the disk drive. Sure, fine. But I agree. Pro model. Don't call yourself Pro model and not have everything.
Yeah. If you're the Pro model, you should be able to go ahead, buy it, and have the equivalent of, this is literally the best in every way, shape, and form of what I can get on the market.
Legitimately, like, Microsoft had so much goodwill, being that it's so fucking cool. And I know you've done this too, but it's so fucking cool being able to put a fucking disc that I've owned for 20 years into my fucking Xbox Series X and have it run better.
Yeah. Like, that's the wildest fucking thing to me, and something that I will give Microsoft a lot of fucking credit for. Like, yes, obviously, it's not running off the original disc. That part isn't what matters.
I don't give a shit. I put disc in, it played. That's all I care.
Exactly.
brain go.
You put disc in, and Microsoft and the developers that have cooperated with them have said, no, let's give you, at minimum, 60 FPS fucking working for a lot of these
boost
games.
Is so fucking cool.
It's so fucking great that there's literally hundreds of 360 and even quite a good handful of original Xbox games that you can right now, if you already happen to have them, if you're a collector, that you can just slap them right on in that fucking Xbox.
Xbox right now can run some games better on that hardware than you could on the beefiest PC of all time. Like GTA with the FPS boost, GTA 4 runs better on a Series X than it could ever on a PC. Just by that.
Fucking absurd. I fucking love it. And again, it's wild to me that Microsoft has trounced fucking Sony on the backwards compatibility, because for most console gens, Sony has been the king of backwards compatibility.
If there was a world where the PS5 allowed you to just pop in PS1 through 5 games, that would be incredible. Like, I would be so fucking head over heels, and I'd actually collect for that a lot more.
It's one of those things that I'm surprised they don't. Like, it's so disgusting to me that, like...
And even the PS3, I understand the PS3 is a weird one. I get it. I wish there was a way around it, but fuck it.
But what they're doing now, where they're like, here's like a small... I think it's been like, what, almost a year now since we've gotten the backwards compatibility level of games, and we have like, what, 20 games that are backwards compatible?
Right.
Like, that's fucking ridiculous. Think of how massive the PS1 library is. Think of how massive the PlayStation 2 library is. And while I get it, because Sony themselves have said that probably when they do fully roll out fully backwards compatible PS3 games, they're basically going to be running on emulators in their data centers, which, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on that, but whatever. Again, you know, even the PS3 stuff, it's like, how the fuck is it that you guys have put yourselves into such a fucking corner that you can't figure out what communities of people have been doing for fucking decades?
Dude,
Like truly, if you wanted to put money behind this and you wanted this to succeed, and that's what I don't get, is like I feel like they're still in like that weird stage of the Jim Ryan. What was it? Jim Ryan was the fucking clown's name, right? Of like, who would want to fucking play old Gran Turismo games? No one gives a shit about these old games. Like I feel that's still like a weird thought that permeates because they're still not like committing. Microsoft fucking committed.
That was a lot of Japanese thought. I don't want to generalize, but I know like Nintendo, for example, they didn't like the idea that people kept playing Melee over the new one, right? Like they just that thought process was not something they liked. I don't know if it was a Nintendo thing or if it was like maybe a cultural thing or something. If like you felt like you just didn't mind the work that they put into the new game. I feel like people need to look at it as like the legacy of the old game rather than like betrayal of the new game. Granted, I get gamers are like fuck this new shit, older, but who the fuck cares? I don't know. I still like at the end of the day, what I want to say is like Xbox nailed how cool that shit is. Like I can literally I have games from when I was a fucking child that I can just put into my fucking Xbox that I bought as a full fucking man. And it runs. It's so it's fucking cool.
Wild.
And hey,
and there's still so many games. Oh god.
And shout outs to how they, because it's cool they embrace that shit, right? Because they made the original Duke controller. They remade that and made it a control. Like I could straight up play the game that I remember playing. I could play like Fusion Frenzy or something. I have the same fucking game I have with the same controller that I had on my current hardware. Like it's so cool. It's so fucking amazing that we do that. I want that shit to go. So like, I can give a fuck all about this whole like exclusivity thing. I understand it from my core aspect, and I can understand like you really wanted to be like Xbox that being a lot of that. I understand. I'll give it that. But that's not what matters to me. What matters to me is preserving a lot of this shit and being able to just like having that convenience factor on top of just that fucking wow factor of just like being able to do that shit. It's so cool. And I think it says something. You bought a Series X new.
Yeah.
The presentation of when you open that box is cool, right?
Yeah, it kind of hit different.
It's like the Annapurna box, right? And it's funny because Phil Spencer mentioned that he's like, when I want someone opening a premium model, I want people to feel like they're having an experience unboxing it, which is fair because when you open the PS5, it's just a box. It's just like, all right, here's some stuff. You toss it out. There's a console. Cool. It felt like Xbox was really caring and nurturing. That's why I appreciate the Series models. It's like it feels like they give a shit, right? It feels like the Series S is a very small console. You don't even you barely even realize that sometimes how small it is. It's cool. Yeah. It looks funky, obviously, but like it's cool at being that small. Series X is weird, but like you know what? It's funny they embrace that. I don't know if you noticed or if you knew they have a Series S toaster. I wanted to get one. It's like $40, but sold out right away. So I'm gonna get one next time. And I have my feet on this fucking Xbox fridge, which they're making more of. They made multiple models of it. I didn't know that too. This is the first gen.
Really?
They made a second gen, which was like a little bit bigger and more quiet, which I want that one because that's the one I would like. Then they made a third gen, which is bigger. And it's like more like a proper mini fridge rather than like this like small one. They lean into the fun of that stuff. They lean into the fun of the console stuff, but also lean into the fact that like it's cool being able to just experience the shit. But like, if we take that away by just going full digital, that's a bummer. Straight up.
Yeah, it's again, it's one of those disgusting things that I would not want them to go full digital. One, again, because of everything we just talked about, but also two, like, I get it. Most of the developed world in general has some kind of basic level of internet access. But it's kind of one of those things that conceptually, it's fucking heinous to me, the idea of, especially with how many companies do rely on day one patching to make things fucking function, how absurd it is to be like, okay, here's your digital only console. You have to now wait for every game to not just install quickly from the disc, but now must install from the internet. And for a lot of people, that is a slow fucking process. America, despite being one of the most developed nations in the world, has still some absurdly slow internet rates.
And data caps
fucking
can
Australia
fuck themselves.
has some of them. Yeah.
Data caps are also fucking stupid.
They're fucking ridiculous. And where all of the major fucking internet providers do data caps, there you fucking go. It's fucking absurd to me that they would want to lean into it. But I get it, because at the end of the day, they make far more money. And this is the lie that anyone that wants to be digital only fucking tells you from a corporate aspect. Is, oh, it's so much cheaper. You just go ahead, you get them digital sales, you don't have to worry about carrying the games. It's like, no, it's cheaper for the companies because they don't have to have product on shelves. But 9 times out of 10, those games stay at those now $70 release prices, and only during holidays or special events do they drop in price for a limited time.
Steam is the only one I feel comfortable with that one. Even then, their sales have not. Which, I'm sorry, I get so bugged whenever I think about. I hate what people. Again, I feel like I always play like I'm too understanding, but like I get people didn't like the flash sales, but the flash sales are why we got games so cheap as they were.
Yeah.
And the fact that people are like, oh, flash sales, I slept this 8 hours. I get it, right? Like, it's dumb, but that was kind of the fun of it, too. Hey, 8 hours, refresh. Oh, fuck, that's one of the game I really want. And it's deep discounted. Why? Because publishers are like, oh, it's only on sale for 8 hours? Yeah, fuck it. Cut it down to pennies. And we're like, hell yeah. But no, they don't do that anymore. So Steam sales have like, not ever hit that low ever again since they cut flash sales. But even so, even without flash sales, Humble being 20% off permanently with the choice stuff, Steam giving you proper sales, and GOG giving you proper sales. Those only services I really feel comfortable buying digitally for as often as I do. I don't really buy digital. I buy on Switch. I used to buy a lot more on Switch. I've calmed down a lot, but I used to buy a lot more digital on Switch, which is always nice because I can just have all my games whenever. But as of the last like 2 years, specifically on PlayStation and Xbox, I buy digitally very rarely, only if it's ever convenient or if I just happen to have credit. Like I bought Eternights or something like that, Eternal Nights, whatever it is, for like $20. I had that $25 from the Backbone that I got, and already it's $20 physical.
Yeah.
So like,
the only time I buy digital anymore is one, just DLCs where it's like, well, there's no fucking choice, obviously. Or two, just if once I've built up enough like fucking Switch coins, it's like, all right, I guess I'll just go grab a digital thing here because.
Or if it's deep discount, if it's deep enough discount randomly, then sure, I'll buy. Or my usual exception is if it's like a game that I don't like to constantly pop in, like Animal Crossing, for example. Animal Crossing is I'm playing Smash. Oh, let me go check my island real quick. Home button, go to Animal Crossing. Knock that out. Home button. Go back to Smash. I don't have to pop in cards to keep track of my games and wherever they are because I don't have them alphabetized right now. Convenience games that are real quick or multiplayer games that I'm like, all right, I'm here with some of the students. They want to play a game. Oh, instead of me saying, oh, I don't have WarioWare or something right now, I downloaded WarioWare. So cool. So we just got WarioWare whenever we want, right? Those kind of games, sure. But I was buying AAA Nintendo games at the very launch of it. I was like, no, fuck that. I'll buy physical. So yeah, I just hope Microsoft keeps their physical options. That's all I care about. They keep their physical options. Let me have the ability to do that. Once you guys take away that, am I gonna always support the Xbox ecosystem? Yeah, because I'm already deep into it. I like the UI. I like the controller. I'm in on that. But I will lose a lot of faith in the brand if they take away that feature.
Straight up, if any console goes digital only, I'm not buying it. I got the Ouya. I have the novelty of my Zeebo.
Playdate?
Yeah, I got my Playdate. But it's kind of one of those things that, other than as a novelty, I will never own a digital only console. And this is coming from someone that even almost got a Series S. And you can go back and look at old episodes. That even was for $300, kind of a good fucking deal, especially as
they were $150.
Machine. Yeah, oh yeah, because they were going down quite a bit.
$150 or that, which I would still suggest. $150 for just a console that's that small that you can pop around.
Store as a second room fucking console. Yeah,
I still suggest it.
But it's kind of one of those things that I don't have any interest in buying digital unless it's just for PC. PC, fine. Again, Steam, GOG, more than happy to throw money at those two platforms. Steam, because just unfortunately, it is the king of PC gaming, if you're getting things legitimately. And GOG, I like throwing money at GOG because I do like the option of taking my games elsewhere. I can go buy games on GOG right now that I can go install on old PC or on old Windows 98 and Windows XP computers I have lying around the house. Like, that's fucking fantastic and wild.
Oh, speaking of you hiccuping, Becky asked, why isn't Big Dave drinking?
Big Dave already did drink a bottle of wine.
I will say,
But,
the only
yeah, go ahead.
caveat, I'll give myself this. If these consoles all make their solid, like, dedicated handheld thing, Steam bottle, or Steam, I saw hot damn a bottle, I beg Steam
Hell
bottle.
yeah.
Steam Deck, which Sony's been rumored to be making their own dedicated, actual, not PlayStation Portal bullshit. I'll consider stuff like that. Because, why not?
I will not buy anything that is digital only, again, unless it's like a PC effectively, a full ass, to some degree, PC. I will not buy digital only. The second, as I don't care how good the first party stuff is, at that point, why am I owning anything other than a fucking super rigged PC?
That's fair. Because
Because eventually, in a few years, emulation will be a thing, and fuck it, I'll just play it on an emulator.
that's fair. Dave, was there any other big stories?
Let me see here. Let me scroll through the shit I've been retweeting lately here, because that's kind of how I've been keeping track of news to a degree. We covered the X. Congrats to IGN for forming a union.
Oh, did they? Good shit.
Yeah, good shit. Fucking shouts to them. Also, shout-outs to Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, still getting brand new free content. They'll be getting some Shantae-inspired DLC here soon for one of their new updates coming out. Fucking A, that game still one of my favorite fucking games from the last generation. I was not expecting to enjoy a Metroidvania to that fucking level since basically Symphony of the Night, but goddamn did I fucking love that game, and that I think that was the first game in like 3 years I put the effort into platinuming. Go check out our Games Gone By episode of that. I really fucking adore Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. That was a fucking good game.
You know,
Also-
did I mention that we forgot that we did I think To the Moon was a game that we forgot we did on Games Gone By. We were ranking
Yeah.
our Games Gone By stuff. To the Moon was a game, and I fucking love that game still.
Yeah, that was fucking great. I still enjoy it. I'm disappointed that Leah did not enjoy that one, but I kind of get it. It hits on to a certain level of gameplay aesthetic that she just wasn't there for in gaming, so I get it.
I mean, I wasn't either, but man, I just appreciate a story that had the balls to end that way.
Fair. Also, I want to bring this up real quick, where we talked about a little bit of wrestling news last week. I feel the need to talk about it this week. Congratulations to The Rock for becoming one of the most hated men in wrestling right now. Shout outs to that. Again, if you're one of those fucking weirdos sending death threats, fucking go touch grass. I hate you. You contribute nothing to society, and it's fucking.
And your mother
wrestling.
never loved you.
And neither should they. But I know you don't follow the wrestling. But to give you,
I saw when I was scrolling through Instagram, I saw that Roman Reigns was there. I guess they have a history with The Rock, so he came out there, blew everyone's minds. And then I saw it. I looked through the comments, and literally every comment was, "We want Cody."
okay, so to give you a quick TLDR, so Roman and The Rock are cousins.
Okay.
They're part of the same long lineage of a wrestling family. And for the longest time, a lot of what was going on with The Rock is they kept kind of like trying to tease him potentially coming back to do like one final run, and it never happened. Never could agree on an idea to do it. For the past 3+ years, Roman Reigns has been the main title holder. And they have been doing this super long story for the past 3+ years, where he is the head of the table. He is the head of the family that him and The Rock and all the other dozens of cousins and brothers that they're a part of are in. And he is the tribal chief. He is the best of the best. Cody Rhodes, last year, came back to WWE. And for a year, they were building him up as the one to finally beat Roman Reigns. He went undefeated for a solid year, won the Royal Rumble, was set to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, went a whole fucking year undefeated, was built up as the ultimate babyface, the ultimate good guy, to finally put an end to the, at the time, 2.5-year title streak of Roman Reigns. Lost at WrestleMania. One of my favorite images in my brain happened where someone threw a rubber chicken in the ring in protest when that happened. Shout out to whoever just had a fucking rubber chicken on them that night. And so everyone was like, well, if it wasn't him, who the fuck's going to take the title from him? And then it became, Sami Zayn must be the one, because he started getting a lot of popularity again, started getting his own storyline. Still wasn't the one to finally take the title from Roman Reigns. The Royal Rumble happened a couple weeks ago. And again, Cody Reigns, the third time in history of the entirety of like the 30-some-odd years that they've been doing Royal Rumbles, has become the third person to win 2 consecutive Royal Rumbles back-to-back. So it's like, Cody Rhodes is finishing his story. Finally now, after 2 years of Cody Rhodes being back, and almost 4 years of Roman's having this title, we're finally finishing the story. He's going to go ahead, he's going to go to WrestleMania, and this time he's finally going to fucking win. And what they did is on SmackDown this past Friday, they had Cody Rhodes come out, and he had a confrontation with Roman Reigns. And he's like, what do you want to talk about? And they're like, we're going to talk about how I have the best fucking title, and how I'm almost he's now the third longest title reign period of the main title. At like 1,400 some odd days. And the only other 2 people to hold the title longer is one, Hulk Hogan, which if he holds it after WrestleMania, he will surpass Hulk Hogan's record. And then the only other person that'll hold the main title longer is Bruno Sammartino back in the 60s, which I hope they don't fucking try to do, because he held the title for 8+ years. And we don't need that kind of shit around here anymore.
How long would it be? How long would it be if he passed Hulk Hogan?
He would basically need
3
to
years?
hold it for another 5 months.
So like 3 years? Would it be 3 years total then?
No, it'd be like 4 years total.
Okay.
Like a full 4 years to pass the Hulk Hogan mark. And so a lot of people were like, Cody Rhodes is finally going to finish his story. Now, as we talked about last week, Vince McMahon now is also apparently facing federal level charges for some of the shit he has been pulling over the years. And The Rock, coincidentally, around the same time, had become a member of the board of directors for TKO, supervising the WWE branch of the company. And coincidentally, what do we get? We get this past Friday, Cody Rhodes having his big showdown with Roman Reigns. We think what we're going to get is Cody be like, I'm going to finish my story. It's taken me almost 2 years now,
I see
but I'm
where
going to
we're
take that
going
title.
with this.
And he's like, but you know what? I'm not going to finish my story at WrestleMania. There's someone else that I've gone ahead and gotten counsel from. And out comes The Rock. To which initially everyone's like, yay, The Rock, he's here. What are you doing here, buddy? And that's it. That is how they end the show, is just a 5-minute long stare down with The Rock not saying anything, but just staring down Roman Reigns. And then they confirm, yeah, we're going to have The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
And Rock's not losing.
People fucking revolted to the point where they had a live show on Saturday, and when they replayed the clip of what happened on Friday on the Saturday, it was booed so loud they basically just gave up playing the clip because the audience was booing so loud. And then on Raw this past Monday, the audience was booing so loud that finally commentary had to acknowledge it, to the point where Michael Cole was like, oh fuck, is this the 1996 again? Like, I haven't seen hatred for Rock like this in years. But it's been confirmed that the boos were so loud in the audience that the WWE was hampering with it on the mic levels and basically had to almost mute it, and it was still hearable with them almost fucking muting the boos in the crowd for it.
Okay, there's a couple. Oh, we finish the whole thing because I got a lot. Is that it on that?
That's the basically high level. Is the fact that they're realizing that for almost 4 years, this dude has had this title. And we've been waiting for someone to finally take this fucking title for him. And Cody was built up as the guy. And again, wins the Royal Rumble a second time. So I was like, okay, we had to go through the hero's journey. He was built up. He had his fall. But it's okay. He's coming back stronger than ever. And now, suddenly, The Rock is here to take things over.
If The Rock loses, when's the next chance for this to happen?
The way that people are projecting that's going to happen is one of two ways. Because The Rock versus Roman doesn't need the title at all. It doesn't need to have the title involved for that storyline to make sense. What people think is going to happen is that either they're going to do a swerve, and we're actually going to get the next major pay-per-view is next month, Elimination Chamber. They think that either something in storyline will force Roman and Cody to have a fight at Elimination Chamber, and he'll take the title then, and then we'll get Rock versus Roman still at WrestleMania, because that's 100% confirmed. Every source has confirmed 100%, unless an injury prevents it from happening, we're getting Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania. So if that doesn't happen, then the next time that we get to go ahead and potentially have Cody finish the story, what's being kind of thought of is all the way in SummerSlam, so we're talking like August. We'll go ahead and we'll finally get Cody versus Roman, or Cody versus The Rock, whoever wins Roman versus The Rock, to get the title at that point. But it won't mean anything by that point, especially if The Rock is the one that wins.
So I'm wondering this from a logistics standpoint. So the WWE needed to do something to get the fuck off the Vince McMahon stuff. So I'm sure board meeting was like, what's a new story we can do to shake this shit up and not have people talk about that?
100%.
Let's put The Rock in there. That's also a bit of The Rock ego, right? The Rock is famous for having this ego now, where it's like, we're all a little sick of The Rock right now. And so I see that. Also see The Rock being like, "Well, I'll just step in. I could do this, and it'll be fine." I wonder if they anticipate, because he used to be the heel, correct?
He had a babyface run for a long time, but he has had two major heel runs. Technically three. His first major heel run was when he was back in '96, essentially, which is why the commentary made the comment, when he was wrestling with the Nation of Domination. When he was known as Rocky Maivia at that time. No one fucking liked him, so he went heel, and still no one liked him until he finally started to kind of figure out his personality. The second time that he was a major heel was when he became the corporate champion, Corporate Rock, in the late '97 or so. And then during his match with Hulk Hogan, despite the fact that originally he was the face of the match, he was the good guy, mid-match they realized that the audience wanted Hogan to be a hero, so he used that to just mid-match decide to just become a bad guy again, and switched and started playing as a heel throughout that, and became a heel again for a little bit. So he has a history of being a heel.
Do you think this is him being a heel, or him rocking, like, hoping that everyone's on his side? Because The Rock can be delusional enough to remember, this is the guy that felt like Black Adam was the one to fucking fight Superman in
All
DC.
sources have confirmed he wasn't expecting the hatred. And it's hilarious because this is the second time it's happened to him. To rewind a little bit, back in 2015, hilariously still involving Roman Reigns, originally WWE was trying to force him to be the ultimate good guy. They really wanted him to get over as being a good guy. no one fucking wanted Roman Reigns to be a good guy. Everyone hated him as a good guy. And they're like, oh, we'll throw The Rock out there. The Rock will save the situation. And even when, back in 2015, when he was at the height of popularity, still in wrestling and in acting to a degree, people booed the fuck out of The Rock for even trying to go ahead and give any kind of credence or acceptance to Roman Reigns. To the point where he was fucking confused. Like, it's a hilarious clip. I'll see if I can find it real quick. Where he's in the ring and he's, like, trying to, like, celebrate my cousin, guys. And, like, he was legit like, I don't fucking understand why everyone hates this.
Yeah, because even on that post, everyone's like, can you get the fuck out of wrestling?
Here we go. I found it.
All right, and we gotta be very. I'm gonna watch this while David talks because wrestling is egregious with anything, even sound wise.
It's true.
So,
but yeah, so it's a 2-minute long clip, but to give a quick highlight while you're watching it. So this is the 2015 Royal Rumble. The Rock comes out mid-Royal Rumble match. To give a little bit of context to this Royal Rumble, no one wanted Roman to win. Absolutely no one wanted him to be a part of this Rumble match. He had already even wrestled another match on the same night. So normally that'd be like, oh, he's not going to be in the Rumble. Surprise, he was in the Rumble. There was another wrestler who was outside of the ring but not eliminated. Initially, everyone popped. The Rock came out. He just whooped the ass of 2 major bad guys in the company. Everyone was excited. Then the guy that was ultimately not actually eliminated, and everyone's like, oh fuck, we want him to win. This was all a setup so he can win. Gets eliminated. And then we have The Rock raising Roman's hand, and the visceral reaction of the audience, and The Rock's utter fucking confusion as he's like, I don't fucking get it. Everyone is pissed. Why does no one want this?
wait, pause real quick. Hold on. Let me double check. Now I can hear this. All right, yeah. All right, cool. You can't hear that either, right?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Keep talking.
And it's just the wildest fucking thing. And made even worse by, especially at this period of time, if memory serves, because this era of WWE is a little fuzzy for me, because I wasn't following it like I used to when I was younger, and kind of like what I do now again. But there was another wrestler, Daniel Bryan, who was huge in the indies, the American Dragon, as I remember him. They really wanted him to be the person, but WWE refused to acknowledge him, and it took years before they were like, fine, fuck it, finally, we'll give him the title, we'll do something with him. And that became its own can of worms. But yeah, so it's just kind of hilarious that back in 2015, they tried to get Roman Reigns over by pairing him with The Rock, and that didn't go over well. Now here we are in 2024, almost 10 years later, and Roman is beloved as a heel. Everyone loves Roman Reigns.
I think a lot of things work with someone. You gotta love to hate someone.
Exactly. And everyone's happy to hate Roman Reigns as a bad guy.
He looks like a bad guy.
But it's also one of those things that the dude has had the title for almost 4 years now. He's defended it 40 times. He's barely been around to wrestle. So people kind of want to see the title actually defended and represented and actually fucking matter, as opposed to basically just being a prop at this point, which it's wrestling. It is just a prop, but it's still kind of one of those things that to get into the story of it all, we want to see a fighting champion. We want to have some semblance of the title being defended more regularly than 40 times in almost 4 years.
Yeah, so I was wondering, granted, like either way, regardless of outcome, this is the way to get everyone to shut up about Vince McMahon, right? Which is fair.
100%.
But again, I wonder what this is doing for The Rock, because The Rock, from what I've heard stories. I say is someone hearing stories from way behind the scenes stuff of other people around, I guess, that he has an ego problem.
Yes.
He didn't want to do Fast and Furious, and he was like adamant. We saw all the stories back and forth. Lo and behold, he is in a post credit scene. Excuse me. Which apparently, I know you're not into those movies, so Fast X. There's a post credit where you see The Rock again, and you're like, oh shit. Obviously, you could tell it was filmed somewhere else, like totally different, other place out, like shot somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the movie itself ended funny, where it felt like that was something supposed to be different of a post credit. And so what happened, I'm sure, and I mentioned this as my theory, and then my friend who looks at all that is like, oh, that's totally makes sense. Was at the end of Fast X, they have this moment where it's like supposed to be like cliffhanger. Then they have a moment afterwards, which felt like a mid credit scene, but it was just attached to the end of the movie. And then mid credit scene was The Rock. Now, my theory is that the thing that was attached to the end of the movie was the mid credit scene, and what happened is that The Rock, 11th Hour, because of the whole failure with DC, because he pissed a lot of people off by going above executives' heads to get Henry Cavill back. He jumped over heads to do that, and so what happened is that when that fell apart, he needed something else. He's like, all right, fuck it, I'll go Fast and Furious, that's fine. And so he went back and made that 11th Hour. Like, all right, fuck it, let's just do it then, I guess. And then he's like, but I need mid credit scene billing. Mid credits do better than post credits. Everyone expects the mid credits, but even though it's in theaters, everyone leaves even though you know there's a post credit, right?
Yeah.
But people still leave. But everyone sits for the mid credits. So mid credits have higher billing. So Gal Gadot had the mid credits, and I guess what happened was Rock came in and said, I want mid credits. I'm only gonna do it for mid credits. I need to be only mid credits. And so Gal Gadot was like, what the fuck? I had mid credits, and they said, all right, fuck it, we'll put you at the end of the movie. Instead of putting her at the end, or splitting them in the instead of doing two mid credits, instead of moving her to the end of the very end of the movie, the post credit, they probably said we'll put you on the actual end of the movie.
Interesting.
Which is why that comes off so choppy.
That's fucking wild. All right.
Yeah. So because The Rock has an ego problem. The Rock has this thing where he needs to have things done his way and needs to be everyone's favorite, which, spoiler, he's not, obviously, right? I wonder what this does with his ego, because, like, bro, you need to chill. Like, you were, like, everyone's favorite person, like, 3 years ago, and then you wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Come in, do your thing, and then dip out. But, like, I don't know. And I remember us talking in the chat, too, about that Rock A24 thing. We'll see how that comes out. I don't know. But it's funny that this happens, too, because this smells like an ego thing where it's like, hey, I'll step in. Let's do this. Derailing everything you guys wanted in your WWE storyline, and now it's backfiring. So now go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's funny because you're basically nailing the head with your assessment, because a lot of reports have been coming out about this from other wrestlers and other executives behind the scenes. And some of my favorite quotes include the fact that The Rock basically pitched it because he thought that currently WrestleMania was looking like it's lacking star power, which is partially true for two reasons.
I know.
One of the major comebacks that was expected to happen, Brock Lesnar, is no longer affiliated with the company, period.
Why is that?
He's one of the names that has been thrown around with what's been going on lately.
Yep.
And two, one of the other wrestlers that was a major return to the company, CM Punk, got injured. And he's going to miss WrestleMania. Although I love what Drew McIntyre is doing. It's fucking hilarious. He's become like a super heel. And he's been just shitting on CM Punk's return the whole time. To the point where, like, a few days ago, the CM Punk basically blew out his tricep for the second time, except it's the opposite tricep to the one he blew out before. And so on fucking Instagram, Drew McIntyre's like, all right, let's go ahead and post a workout video today. Never forget triceps, by the way. And he just did a whole tricep workout. And then just because, again, I know you're not a wrestling person, but I feel like you appreciate this level of fuckery here.
I'm sure there was a world where I got really into wrestling and thought this whole thing was fun.
It's one of those things that I'm like, I feel like if I curated certain storylines, you would have a lot of fun with it.
I promise you, this is true. We've come to a point in our lives where we have to say no to things. And so Final Fantasy 14 or wrestling, pick. And it's going to be FF14 because there's near shit.
Fair. But yeah, so he wore this shirt on Raw the other day, which I'm fucking ecstatic with how quickly they got this meme set up of him just doing the peace sign over CM Punk's fucking WrestleMania career.
It's fun. I'm sure it's. I never understood the whole like wrestling's fake. No shit. Like I don't know. Like I don't.
Like everything is fucking anything that's entertainment is fake.
That. But anyway. What were the other reports? So you had a report saying that he needed
star
power.
So that was lacking star power. The other one is the fact that it ties into The Rock's deal with TKO, the parent company of WWE and UFC, which is that he has a $30 million bonus on the line. Part of that bonus agreement was that he would become an active wrestler to some degree again. So everyone's like, oh, this is him basically ensuring his payday on some level. And the other reports coming out was basically that not only does it also help to distract from the Vince McMahon thing, but he's also been quoted as saying that he doesn't care what fans think. He thinks that this is the best time that he's ever going to have to be involved in something he's wanted to do for a long time.
Yeah. That's why I started smiling when you said that. I was like, yeah, no, that I feel like this is the most obvious thing is The Rock was like, I'm here, rejoice, and everyone's like, yes. No, go home. It was
initially excited. And then
I scrolled. Like, oh, wait. I scrolled on The Rock's Instagram, and I was like, I saw the first like 5 or 6 "We Want Cody's." I'm like, all right, cool. Let me see if that's just it, right? I'm sure there's gonna be like a whole like, this is awesome, guys. I scrolled for a little while. That's all you saw.
Yeah, Twitter fucking blew up with the "We Want Cody."
Now here's the thing.
Yo,
if The Rock was smart, which he is, he's more money than I'll ever fucking make and ever see in my entire lifetime, sure. But the ego thing is not smart. If he was smart in this aspect, he would roll into it, realize, all right, cool. I need to shape my image a little bit differently. I've become too fucking carbon copy. I don't know if you saw, Moist Critical did that video, I think, where it was an In-N-Out situation where he was on Joe Rogan and literally no personality. Like he has the safest answers to every fucking thing. You can tell it's so curated. Like it's almost to an AI extent where it's like, dude, you can't understand who his personality is. Like Joe Rogan will be like, hey, who like politically, he'll try to throw him like something, like a little bit of a curveball and see what he answers. Yeah, like that everything is kind of like it's so political too. It's like he'd be wild as an actual politician because he just walks out lines so much. But like nothing of substance comes out. He's so curated to an extreme of a personality, but he has an ego with it too. Like I can't tell if it's like he like walks out a line of like, I want everyone to like me, but like I know everyone likes me, so I'm gonna keep doing this thing. And
it's, oh man,
if he was smart, he just say fuck it, let's shake things up, because he is still a big star. He still has plenty of fans, even through all this. Even through this, it's a minute amount of people. Like he still got plenty of fans everywhere else.
And it's so fucking wild to me, just because back when he was an active wrestler, he wasn't like that. There's been very few instances of him refusing to either do the job for another wrestler or refusing to work with another wrestler. The big one that comes up for a lot of people, myself included, is he refused to work with DDP at the time, which I frustrated that didn't happen. But for most part, and when he was just a wrestler, he was more than happy to put others over and to like really help build out other people's careers. And it really wasn't until he just became like full-time Hollywood that it's like, oh, this the real Rock, or is this what Hollywood just does to a person?
Because yeah, Cal says The Rock is built like a human PR machine. He really is. But I mean, like if he wanted to like spice it up a little bit, I'd say fuck it, dude. Just roll a full heel, get yourself fucked over a little bit like that, and give the people what they want, right? Like, be the people's champ by enabling what they want, I guess, like, right? But like, I foresee this. I don't know if I can't tell. I can't read now if he's gonna actively listen to like, oh fuck, how people are like actively upset about it, or he's gonna say fuck it, let's just keep going, and I want what I want, which I want to be title holder, which would piss a lot of people off, but like not in a like a WWE like fun kind of mad, right? It's like a no,
like,
you're interfering with
up.
our shit, dude. Like, stop.
It's oh man, like straight up, if it's the second route where they don't do anything for Elimination Chamber, and truly we have for WrestleMania Roman versus The Rock for the title, and The Rock leaves with the title, fucking the revolt that will happen will be hilarious and concerning.
But yeah, because it's not a WWE, because there have been plenty of times fans have been pissed at the WWE, right? But it's not like most of the time. Not, I won't say every single time, but most of the time it's like a playful like, we're pissed because of how the storyline played out, but like we're gonna come back for more. This feels like it's third party maneuvering with their storyline now, though.
Yeah, it is 100% like, and again, I mentioned Daniel Bryan earlier. I think that's the last time that truly audiences were this level of fucking pissed with the company for not moving forward with certain storylines. It's, and again, especially where you're committing. So picture, this is the equivalent of essentially, and this is what it is. I mean, it's a long form storyline where we're talking 3+ years of 2 to 3. Technically, there's a third show for WWE NXT, but it's kind of more of a developmental brand. The main roster talent doesn't always go on there. They do sometimes, but generally speaking, you have your Raw and you have your SmackDown. So 2 weekly shows that happen every week for 3+ years. So we're already ahead of what like a traditional show would be. We're in soap opera plus territory, because not only is it, or actually at least around soap opera territory, where this is just happening every single fucking week, multiple times a week, plus whenever the pay-per-views happen. So you're getting a lot of a continuous story for 3+ years. And it looked like there was finally an end to the story. We were finally going to go ahead and have the person that was meant to go ahead and not only finish their story, because that's the whole big thing with Cody Rhodes, is he is the son of a plumber. His father was a huge entity within wrestling, and the one title that his dad was in storyline cheated out of was the big WWE Championship. And so that's kind of the thing for him, is he wants to finish that story that his dad couldn't. And so he's like, that's my story. That's what I'm doing here. And they built him strong. Again, went a whole year being undefeated just to lose at WrestleMania, which is hilariously the second time WWE did that, which is fucking wild that they went to that well again. But it's like, okay, again, fine. We're going to do the hero's journey. We got him built up. We got him arrogant. And he had that hubris fall. And he's building himself back up. He's going to get back to the top, you know? And to just have a weird fucking ego come in. And the cruel irony is I don't disagree with the thought process here. Because one of the other comments that was made by The Rock was like, the money is in The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Yes, the active audiences care about Cody versus Roman, but the casual audience, they hear The Rock is wrestling, they're going to be more interested. It's kind of like how every year when people are like, oh yeah, who do you think's going to be in the Rumble? If you talk with the most casual of wrestling fans, like, maybe Stone Cold will be there. It's like, bro hasn't wrestled in fucking decades. I don't know what you're thinking, but sure, maybe he'll be there this time. So I can see it from the casual fan base level.
Yeah, but those are the ones that stick around, which is the issue, though.
No, but that's and again, that's the unfortunate short-term booking that is potentially going to happen here. And then there's the people that I swear are conspiracy level theories. So Cody Rhodes did put out a tweet today that said, "I appreciate all of your concerns, but trust me." So people have kind of got conspiracy brain here, thinking that this is all one big work.
I don't think so. I think I get why they would do that. I feel like The Rock just assumed there would be a different reaction, and
Yes.
and maybe they're shifting foot after that. But I can promise you, with The Rock who he is, he thought originally that it was like, oh fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah, 100%. To the point where Logan Paul, which I'm fucking disgusted is an active wrestler, and also a title holder currently, and feuding with one of my actual favorite wrestlers from when I was a teenager. I'm disgusted about all this process involved. But he was also actively tweeting about the "We Want Cody" thing, which also made me go, this is a work. Like, now this is a work, in the sense of, like, if they're allowing one of their contracted talents to tweet about this suddenly, yeah, this is them basically being like, yeah, we're shifting focus because we realized how bad this is.
Yeah, I
If
guarantee
this was
you.
a work from the beginning, they would have been the ones spearheading a lot of this. Like, no, let him finish his story.
I promise you that if reaction was different, they would have thrown away the Cody storyline. Well, by the way, I didn't know Persona 2 had Hitler.
Yeah,
Hell
in a
yeah.
way, essentially. But yeah.
I just finally got the tweet of the guy saying that both P2 and P4 remakes exist. I don't know what that means still, but that'd be cool, David.
Yeah, I'd fucking love it. Again,
A P2 remake
fucking-
is not gonna be what you think it is. I don't think you want to be saying that, but like,
It's one of those things. I would like a gameplay evolution from what the gameplay of the original Persona trilogy was. I don't think it ages well, but at the same time, I don't want social links.
can you
don't
give
want...
me okay here? I'm gonna throw something at you. In this world, where actually before I even say anything, let me see if this falls. Give me like 2 seconds to look this up real quick. Yes, okay. In this world where I am trying to complete a bunch of this bullshit that's like hanging over my head. Oh, by the way, Kelsey, I feel like we can blame the actor strike for all this. I agree. Writers. Get with
Sure,
it.
if The Rock didn't have free time on his hands.
In this world where I can complete these 100-hour games, David, I need you to, without spoiling, give me like a 1 sentence to 1 paragraph spiel as to why, after I'm done with Persona 3, I should jump into 1 and the duology.
I'd almost even argue you could kind of skip 1. 1 is, like, if you want, like, the deep lore,
Yes.
you start with 1. But the main reason for, I'm going to specifically argue from this point, the Persona 2 duology is, it is one of the most rewarding overarching story journeys where you get to follow along a cast of characters, see them grow, and see kind of to the end of their, you meet a lot of this cast when they're teenagers and when they're adults, and you see their whole journey, as well as having some of the most rewarding and interesting meta-contextual gameplay mechanics. So
That's
the
it.
Persona that's it.
So is it the way you say that feels like Persona 5 Royal, how I felt with that cast, but like over a longer period of time.
Yes, it is very much like if you combined Persona 5 Royal and Strikers together as a cohesive
All right,
story.
I
more
get it. I
darkly.
fucking play Strikers. I
You
understand.
need to fucking play Strikers. It's like, I get it. The Dynasty Warriors gameplay is not your cup of tea, but once you get to the halfway point of the game, you're basically just using only your spells and you're not doing the Dynasty Warrior stuff anymore. But also, two, the story is so
I was gonna
fucking good.
look. Here's the thing. I was inches away from doing this, and I know you. And I'm gonna agree with you. I'm not gonna play this version, if only because I heard that there's loading screens in between battles when you're running around, and that breaks up the pacing of it pretty badly. So what's gonna happen is, David, there is a strong possibility. So I'm actually after this. I'm gonna delete Replicant from my PS5. Maybe I put in Persona 5 Strikers. Being is that I'm balancing near, and Persona 3 on the Xbox. I'll probably be relegating Persona Strikers to stream play on my backbone, which I feel like that's not the worst thing in the world.
No, it's not a terrible way to go about it.
'Cause I just feel like it's more of a mobile game for me, just because of how autopilot the gameplay is. That I can like hang out, play half an hour here or there, right? Or no? Or it might be too dense.
In the beginning, again, the beginning half of the game plays like Dynasty Warriors because you don't have much access to your SP as much. Once you get to the halfway point, you're basically playing it more like an action RPG, where you're probably spending more of your time like actively engaging with spells than you are.
So then maybe
mashing
I get.
attacks.
How long is it again?
I think I took 90 hours to platinum it.
I'll probably not platinum it, but let's see, 35 hours. Maybe I play Backbone and get that done until halfway, and then I can just knock out the rest. We'll see. But yeah. So I'm contemplating going through duology, because I know you really talk highly of the story.
If you decide to go through it, and you're like, I
but then
really want to revisit, just
you
tell me.
say
I'll start going through it again.
You say, see, and that's the thing. We do Games Gone By with it. It's a new format. We can just say fucking do that. But, and you know this about me. We've said this 1,000 times. But I'm sure even if anyone that's casual listens understand. If I want to do something, I need to do with it. I can't half-ass commit. I gotta commit. You see this with Nier right now. I have extreme committed. You saw that with FF7, where if it didn't matter for the whole last bit, because I think I still haven't beat the game, quote unquote, which I'll get into. Where I've also relegated myself that when I get Rebirth, I'm gonna go back and finish OG7 because I'm right at the end. Then I'll go back and start reading all this stuff because I want to be primed for lore heavy at that point. So I didn't half-ass that either, right? Alan Wake. We went through Alan Wake. I went through American Nightmare. I went through Control. I went all in on Alan Wake 2. I'm not half-assing shit. So if I'm doing duology, David, you know I'm doing one.
And it is more rewarding if you do play one.
I am not doing this shit where I'm playing a game that I'm gonna like. Apparently, yeah, I'm sure if you're recommending it, I know I'm gonna like it. Then I'm not gonna do this thing where like I do that and I could have got even more out of it if I've done that. No, fuck that. I hate that. I hate that. I want the full extent of it. Therefore, I will go through the original. Or whomst console should I play this on? If I'm doing the original.
Because of the fuckered nature of it.
That's why I'm asking.
You have. I would recommend playing the PSP versions of Persona 1 and Persona 2 1. And then you have no choice but to play the second half of the Persona 2 duology on PS1.
Repeat that beginning part again.
So Persona 1, you're going to play the PSP remake. For Persona 2...
I have the duology on Vita.
you're gonna want to play the duology can't be on Vita because one of them only was on PSP in the US and the other one was on PS1.
No,
So that's where
I have them both digitally though.
Yeah, you have them digitally. So play specifically the PSP remake of Persona 1. Then for the first part of Persona 2, you play the PSP version of that. And then, because I don't think the fan translation is done for the PSP remake of the second part of Persona 2, you're going backwards and essentially playing a PS1 game to finish the story of Persona 2.
Okay, so Persona 1, and then playing the PSP, and then back
So
to PS.
PSP version of Persona 1. Do not play the PS1 version of Persona 1.
Yeah, my PS Vita is dead right now. We'll touch bases about this next week then. I'm pretty sure I know what you're saying, but I'm not starting it now anyway. But we'll do this, and maybe hey, you know what's cool though, is if I do that, we're not far away from Persona being a Games Gone By retrospective.
It's true.
We're like not inherently far off. Like, yeah, you got to finish up Golden. 3 Reload's gonna be a game you're gonna play for sure. And then we're there. Like, yeah, you already beat Tactica. I'll have Strikers done. Tactica's not that far off, especially if it's on Switch for me, which seems like everyone's like, yeah, play on Switch, you're good. Who knows?
Honestly, you can kind of skip Tactica.
Yeah, but it's there.
For the completion's sake,
Yeah.
it's
For a
fine.
retrospective, David.
Yes, for a retrospective, it's fine.
Damn. You know how sick that'd be? Because technically we could have an FF7 retrospective episode. We have a Nier, or we could have a Draken Nier retrospective episode.
Yeah.
We could have a Persona retrospective episode. And eventually, sometime, whenever you get to it, maybe an Alan Wake retrospective, kind of what we did. But
The only way that's happening is if you make Alan Wake 2 Games Gone By game.
man, I get so excited every time I think about that game, though. I am so excited for you to play that game. One
Maybe
day,
one
David.
day.
Well, you will one day. When? I don't know. And you're gonna unfortunately be at the point where even if you're like, I'm not buying this game, I'll probably buy it for you at some point. Like, grow up.
Oh.
But yeah, so we're at that point now where I'm feeling this. I'm really feeling it. Yeah. Anyway, any other stories? Are we done for the night? That was almost 3-hour podcast.
For the night. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh man, I love the little tangents we got there. They go hard. Shout out to anyone in chat. Kells at Becky, appreciate y'all. There you go. This podcast gave us a possibility of some Persona games. We're gonna have some fighting game nights sometime with some pizza and the bros.
Hell yeah.
There's good times ahead. We won't. We'll say no stream on Tekken this week, even though we both have it. I think we'll play it soon, though. I'm not gonna promise anything. Just check out my Twitter in that case.
We'll try to organize something. Again, February is a rough month for me right now, but we'll try to get something going.
Hell yeah. GG's, Kells, everyone in stream recording. Peace.
Hell yeah.
All right. See y'all.
Bye.